Hello, hello. How are we doing tonight? I hope you're having a fantastic evening. We are here live with you, Scotty and Chris. We are your hosts for the Action Lab. We are here for Sunday night football. We got Broncos, my boys, holding it down here in Denver, and they are hosting the San Francisco 49ers. So we will be getting all of the Sunday night sidecasting here going for this particular game. We're going to be recapping all the rest of the games. Crazy action today, so we'll dive into all of those as well. We have bingo, we have fantasy stuff, we have everything. So we wanted to just get rolling. Scotty, how are we doing?
Yes,
Last Rockies home game today.
Yeah, I'm good. Last home game of the season for me, for the Rockies, so trying to pull everything together. They always have family day the last day, so my kids come and go on the field, and there's food and drink, so getting home after that and getting ready for this was a little quick, but I'm ready to go. Feels good. Wellness check. I'm okay, Chris. I know the Chiefs lost today, but I'll be all right. I'm going to be okay.
Got to get those wellness checks, especially when the Chiefs, they came in. It came down to the wire, though. What's up, G girl? How we doing? Hope you're having a fantastic day. Hey, crazy day of action in football. Hey, go for everyone here. Go give G girl some love. We're still having people trickle in, so I'll give you a couple shout outs, G girl. So thank you for swinging by. What did you think of the action today? We're gonna dive into all of it.
It was wild. That's for sure. It was a wild early games. I feel like the early games every week have been nuts, Chris. 3 weeks in, and every single early window is just out of control. Late game, afternoon games today. Now, granted, I was at family day and stuff, so I missed some of that action, but it didn't seem quite the feel of the morning games. But then we got this barn burner. They're just marching up and down the field in this one, Chris.
I've been watching the first half of this game, and it has not been pretty. Mainly on, both sides have been kind of stagnant. All we're seeing is a lot of out routes for Denver, and we're seeing a lot of just, a big chunk play and then just stalling out for the San Francisco 49ers. So it's been back and forth for these guys in this one. But realistically, this game hasn't been super exciting off the top, but we are only halfway through. A minute 27 left in the second quarter here. Denver has the ball at the 49-yard line of the 49ers here. So midfield, Russ snaps the ball back, catch, and drop after a little hit there. So
he's throwing to the running backs, I feel like, a lot, Chris.
Yeah, and that's my and I don't know how to feel about that, only because we have a guy that can hit wide receivers are kind of important in this league, right? So they love throwing to running backs in this offense, and I don't necessarily understand. I get why you would do it in certain situations, but this was what we saw early on in the first couple games. So I'm kind of, we'll see how this works, but it's not great. And false start here.
False start on the wide receiver. Can't have that. Who was that?
Milwaukee's, what's up? I know one team who won today. What was it? It happened to be your Packers. That was
speaking of barn burners, that one is just good old Rodgers Brady just duel out in Tampa.
What's up? What do we got here? Football wife, how are we doing? Devil Doc, what's going on? Good evening. How are we doing?
You know who probably didn't win today, though, Milwaukee? Your fantasy team. I don't even know, but I'm guessing, considering you only have Packers on that team, that it didn't do very well today.
Man, that game, it was tight. It was tight. Russ back, running.
He's
and
13. And there's a flag, so it's probably coming back even further, Chris.
So this one, it's been...
I'm just going to guess Garrett Bowles. Just
throwing that out there.
It feels like it's usually Bowles, and if there's a holding call, right?
WTF is wrong with Russ. Russ...
When does the worry point come for you, Chris? That you just traded a ton of assets and paid a lot of money to a guy that so far doesn't look like the improvement everyone was hoping for. I know it's early. It's only game 3. New system, new coaches, all this, but it hasn't looked pretty so far.
So my my understanding was we would be done. Third and 23 here. I'll give you some of my insight here on after this play. Third and 23. Got a long way to go here, Russ. Let's stretch the field here. Let's see what we could do. Snap the ball, shotgun, looks downfield, looks left. I thought we were done with all of these short out routes with like Drew Lock underneath shots, like Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater. That was the whole reason why we were like, Teddy Bridgewater ain't it, because he can only get the ball a certain length downfield. He's not going to be able to stretch the field. And like, we haven't been able to solve that problem with Russ. It's crazy. So I'm starting to become more concerned when you don't see anything related to a long pass downfield. I have on our bingo board a Russ 35-yard pass. I think that might be a 30-plus yard pass, I should say. It's not looking good. Is the failed challenge a Hackett blunder? No, but we do have the challenge. We'll get to the bingo here in a minute. I think we're reserving the Hackett blunder on the bingo card for some sort of like weird play call, some strange thing that happens with like time running out, which, you know, we're in that time frame here. So yeah, we're gonna save it for that. But we could always.
Too bad you didn't put like combined punts of 30.
We could.
In this game.
I could have. I thought about it.
Been so far.
I don't know. There haven't been a. There haven't. It's been quite a few. Devil Doc 14 to 12. I actually fell asleep watching that game. Says Devil Doc. What else?
We're at a combined 10 punts already, Chris. 10 punts in this game.
10 punts. Oof. That's
5
rough.
apiece.
I benched Russ this week for Carr. So far, the right move. Yeah, I think that, well, Carr had an interesting day as well. We'll dive into all of those, but let's dive into some of the bingo stuff here. Let's see. Guys, by the way, my name is Chris. This is Scott. We are your hosts for the Action Lab. You know, we are here live every Wednesday and Sunday night. We're your premier sports and entertainment talk show on Twitch. It's like talking sports with your friends in your family room, except we're all over the world. So thank you for being here on a Sunday night football, Broncos and Niners. We will be doing bingo. If you're new to the show, bingo is how we gift out subs from us to you guys. And there's 3 ways you can get a bingo. There's ways we can help the bingo board. There's ways you can help the bingo board. And there's ways this game can help the bingo board. So we have 3 different things going on all at once to help gift out subs. So every single bingo we gift out a sub to the community. If we get a blackout, we'll gift out like 10 subs. I
don't know if tonight's the blackout night.
I don't think it's the blackout night.
That top left corner is already very concerning.
I mean, I might black out just watching the torturous offense that we have on the field.
Actually, 450 plus pass yards combined is not very. That means they only have to get 225 apiece. We're practically trying to hand that bingo spot out, and they're still like, no.
Yeah, it's not that much. I even when I look at these, I take them from the sports books, and I'm like, all right, what are they projecting? And I kind of even like influence where I set the number based off of those numbers. And I even kind of was generous on this one, and it's still probably going to be rough to get there. And yeah, but I digress. 10 plus subs and 10 follows are ways you can help influence this board here, guys. So you guys can help. And luckily, they're all on the same line randomly this week. So, hey, all we need is some passing yards and a Sutton touchdown, and you guys carry the rest of the weight on that one. So help us out with that line. Ooh, we'll be good. All right, so we have had a challenged play, so I'll knock that one off.
Yeah. I know, Chris. It's ugly out there. Debo's almost at 80 yards. I think he has 77. He's got 73.
He'll get there.
Rushing. So that one's gonna get there here eventually. But are those the only 2 that we've hit so far?
Ooh, and nice defensive play there. Denver has one timeout here.
Do you use it if you're Denver here? You hired some guy this week to do the.
Oh no!
Looks like they're using it on an injury.
Looks like we have
going to be using it. Who is that? Who's 56?
So, yeah, Hackett's talking it out on the sideline here, trying to figure this out. Yep, and this is going to be most likely an injury timeout for Denver.
Under 2 minutes. Yeah, it's going to cost Denver their final timeout. So, hopefully it's not too serious. I still don't know who it is. You know who it is, Chris? 56 is.
No, not off the top here. Hold on one sec. Baron Browning. So Baron Browning down here for Russell's on the sideline, talking to Judy, talking to Sutton, trying to figure out.
Shouldn't he be yelling pass or run on every play?
By the way, I saw that clip and I was like, it is cringy. It's super cringe to see him yelling. It's like a peewee football team. It said Browning. Browning is ninja. Yeah, Browning. By the way, Reckoning. I know we talked offline about maybe doing some predictions where you could wager channel points on the predictions, but if you can do so, maybe we try to figure that out. So maybe like in the second half, we could do like how is this play gonna end on this drive? It could be a punt, field goal, touchdown, whatever, and you guys can wager points, your channel points. And if you win, you win your wager, or how I think that's how it works. So you can, build up your channel points, so then you can use all your channel points on all sorts of cool stuff, which we are trying to put more together. So, Reckoning, play around with that, see how that works, and let's have some fun with that. Here we go. Handoff play here to Debo.
We're going to halftime here.
And
that's what that play was. No timeouts left for Denver, so that was a play to just take us to half. And
all right.
7-3.
We knew the under was probably in a good place here with this one. It's funny that Russ was talking to all his wide receivers, given the fact that he throws more to his running backs than he does his wide receivers. Maybe he should be over with the running back bench, like, hey, let's figure this out. We need to get more passes your way. But Denver has been doing well on defense, right? Defense has been kind of a strong point for the Broncos team this year. So, holding San Francisco to 7 in the first half, I think is a positive thing, given how bad we've played offensively. So it's anyone's game. This game was, what was it? 2? What did this close at? 2? This point spread?
I did not see the closing line. Let me see. I show 1.5.
So yeah, 1.5. We knew it was going to be kind of a closer game, low scoring game with the over under total set pretty low too. So let's dive into some fantasy leaders real quick, and then we're going to get to the chat. But we'll dive into all of the games of this morning and afternoon. So we're going to be diving into those after this game has concluded. Here we go. Prediction. I like this. How many bingos will we get tonight? 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4 plus? 4 plus. I hope we get 4 plus. That means we have a fantastic game tonight. Hey guys, go ahead. You can predict with your channel points how many bingos we're going to get. And then if we get a certain amount of bingos, if you're correct, you will win what you wagered. So, hey, we get some gambling going here. I like it. Gambling's always fun, right?
When you win, it is. When you win, Chris.
Speaking of gambling today, I won pretty big on some bets this weekend. I cashed out for, a nice little chunk of change based off of the bets that I was going on from Wednesday's best bets. So I feel good about that, Scotty. We'll dive into our best bets and how we did there soon enough as well. But all right, so let's dive into some fantasy leaders here. Fantasy leaders are in the bottom right hand corner of your screen. So go ahead, take a look at those. And these aren't reflective of all leagues. Just keep that in mind. So Lamar Jackson hitting 40 points. I mean, different leagues scored different, have different scoring, PPR versus non-PPR, whatever. These are just just for stats alone. So just keep that in mind. But Lamar Jackson, we talked about him, and Jalen Hurts have been pretty much staples at the top of these fantasy football rankings. And I just happen to have a couple of them on a couple teams, and I'm telling you, man, it makes a difference. They're killing it fantasy football wise.
Yeah, I have Lamar on one team, and that team is headed to 3-0. Based almost solely on his back. Well, not completely. I got some other dudes on that team, like Stephon Diggs and Devontae Adams and stuff. But anyway, Lamar, my thoughts on Lamar. I've trashed him a lot and that he can't win the playoffs. He's balling out right now. He is absolutely balling out for Baltimore and has been fantasy leader every single week.
Yep.
It seems like.
Herbert ends up getting a big boost in his productivity when it came.
What?
I mean,
Justin Herbert?
the other Herbert here, and running back for Chicago ends up jumping in for Montgomery after he went down early in the game, and just no big deal. 157 yards, 2 touchdowns, just to fill in as the backup. Mm-hmm. So pretty good there.
It was against Houston, one qualifier.
See that, and that game was interesting in the sense that it was just a weird back and forth game, but you never really got excited about it, but it was so close all the way through.
It's Houston and Chicago. You're not going to get excited about that game ever. I don't even, if you're a fan of the teams, I don't know if you're excited. Chris, I'm in like a wins pool, and you draft in order and you pick teams and you just want them to win. I have Houston based off of having one of the last 2 picks in the whole draft, and they literally have been tied or in the lead in the fourth quarter of all 3 games and have 0 wins on the season. Chris, it's a lot of fun for me.
That's rough, man. It's a rough start, but it's still early. We're good. You're good. Rick, I got 31.38 from Devontae Smith, which is on our list here at the very top right, or bottom right of the corner here. For Philadelphia, had a nice game, 169 yards, 1 touchdown. Josh Allen, that game was one of the best games back and forth. That was a lot of fun to watch, that rivalry in that division with Buffalo and Miami. Ooh, man, that's going to be a fun one to watch from here on out. We talk a lot about like the rivalries in the AFC West, but that rivalry, that one's going to be solid to watch all season long.
Yeah, I mean, and we'll get into all the recaps after the conclusion of Sunday Night Football, and really dive into this one. But huge win for Miami on, beating Buffalo, beating Baltimore, beating New England. Those are 3 teams that probably have owned Miami in the past, and 3 big wins for Miami. And they are the only team in the AFC that's undefeated, Chris. And there's only 2 teams in the NFL undefeated. We're in week 3, and there's only 2 undefeated teams in the NFL. And just as everyone thought it would be, it's the Miami Dolphins and Philadelphia Eagles. Like,
I'm starting.
The NFL season is already drunk, Chris.
I'm not there.
Drunk.
I'm not there yet. But I'm slowly starting to get terrified that the Miami Dolphins might be like a for real team. But we'll talk about some aspects of why I'm still hesitant. So we'll get into that once we touch on that game a little bit later on as well. Other Trevor Lawrence making an appearance here on this list. Trevor Lawrence having a blowout game of the Chargers. Jacksonville puts up 38 points on the Chargers, 38-10, 262, 3 touchdowns for Lawrence, putting up some nice fantasy numbers there. Mark Andrews is the Mark Andrews we all thought he would be coming out of Baltimore and going into the season here. So that was big. Williams, where's chairman of the board? Your boy Williams in Detroit, putting up 87 yards, couple TDs.
Yeah, not who doesn't get TDs when Williams scores? Swift or Amon Ra. Stop handing it at the goal line to Williams. I mean, I get why you're doing it, but killing my fantasy team.
Let's see what else we have.
Say your boy. You must have said your boy.
Did I say it? Did I say your boy? I honestly I haven't even.
Probably with chairman talking about Williams.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. All right. See, I don't even know when I say it most of the time. It's just
I missed it too, but the chat's on it. The chat's got us.
There we go. See, we got you guys paying attention.
So And I think a defensive specialty, both those two underneath that one are very much in play. A Jimmy G pick is just a matter of time, probably. And a defensive special teams touchdown, I mean, we might have 3 of those in the second half. That might be the only way people score in the second half.
It could be. And I could envision like a long catch or a random catch and fumble taken back or something. I can picture something happening defensively or special teams wise. There's been a interesting amount of chunk plays, and then all of a sudden it just keeps stalling out, especially on the 49ers side. Denver's had a couple. They had a nice long pass to Jerry Jeudy early on, and then that kind of fizzled out. And I'm telling you, man, like the short sideline passes for Russ, I mean, at least get the 15, 20-yard sideline passes for Russ. Like, at least stretch it a little bit. But I digress. Let's go back to let me just make sure I didn't miss any notable names here on the list. Joe Burrow, coming back, having a decent game. That offensive line, though, man. Ooh, I thought.
I mean, hey,
they got
it done today.
They got that dub.
They were my survivor pick, so I was a little nervous taking an 0-2 team. I was like, they got it. They got this today. Chris, I'm in a survivor pool that had like 130 people in it. 16 left. There's 16 of us. It's still left after 3 weeks.
You're looking good, though. You're looking good for that cash.
Yeah, cash that. It's pretty much a foregone conclusion at this point.
Reckoning. Let's give some love for Pujols and his 700th. Got to give.
For sure.
I mean, that's a pretty historic number. I mean, baseball's all about the numbers, right? It's all about those benchmarks. And, hey, he hit it, man. Let's give some love. Your boy.
In Dodger Stadium. Did you see the guy on, like, I think one of the guys on MLB Network back in April predicted what day
no
would hit
no way
700th back in April, and just nailed it. The only thing he missed is he did say it was coming off of Kershaw, which it did not, but he hit 2 in Dodger Stadium. And obviously we talked about the ball with Judge the other day. This man walked out of that stadium with the ball. That 700th ball is still in the possession of whoever,
which is
the fan was smart.
Is smart because that's the way you go about it, right? That's the way you would do it. You would give it 24 hours. You would take that thing home, you would sit on it, and you would
at least 24 hours.
And you would like
see what my options are.
Exactly, which I think is always the right move, right? So yeah, I think that there's always mistakes made when you get hyped and you get excited about something and you just make those split knee-jerk reactions. Always take your time. Take your time and just think about it a little bit. Live in the moment and just enjoy that moment for 24 hours and then start thinking about it, right? That's a theme here in the Action Lab. Hooray for Fat Albert. Still stole Gold Gloves from Helton through St. Louis being more popular than Colorado. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I think Helton was probably a better fielder than Pujols, but it's all good, you know. Helton hopefully will be a Hall of Famer. Let's at least get Helton in the Hall of Fame. All right, people?
Yeah.
I know baseball. I've said this before. I hate the Baseball Hall of Fame so much. It's just a bunch of snob writers like being like, oh, I have the power and I will wait 37 years to grant you admission into this exclusive club. Like, shut up. Shut up. Half of you couldn't even hit a ball off a tee right now. All right?
So, yeah, big ups for Albert Pujols. He's going to be first ballot. Yeah, I mean, I think that there's a pretty good argument for him to be.
Yes. You hit 700 home runs, you are going to.
He's got a lot of good stuff happening there. But yeah, so congratulations. Other things happening here. Let me make sure we have everybody here. Patterson. By the way, I was watching that Atlanta-Seattle game more than I've ever watched ever. And honestly, Patterson is he's a monster. So
I mean, people have hated on him. Was he ever really a running back? He was a wide receiver playing running back, but put up numbers today, and he's been decent at doing it. So it's not a guy like I really think about that much, but he's been productive. I'll give him props.
Jizz Plato, tell us. He's telling us to say something interesting, and
what would be interesting to you, Jizz of Plato?
And Jizz, I mean, we don't need that here, man. You get out of here. Get out of here. He gone. Get out of here. So yeah, we don't need none of that. But yeah, Patterson, you never really think nothing of value was lost. There you go. Get out. Just be respectful, guys. That's all. I just never really.
Bruh, look at this dude.
Yeah. You never. I'll drink to that too. Let's go. I never really think about Patterson. He's always that guy that's like, no, I'm gonna stay away from him, and then he just always ends up blowing up for someone's fantasy team. Always.
Come on, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still gonna stay away from him, and I did go 3-0. At least my fantasy teams showed up this week, Chris. I went 3-0 in fantasy. Well, likely, right? Right, G girl.
That's right.
Right. I think I'm playing G girl in one league, one of our action lag leagues, getting her off that undefeated streak she was on after starting 2-0.
Faith Hill intro is better than the Kerry Wood intro. Interesting. You
mean.
Ooh.
I agree, Rec. I agree. I'm a big. I mean, Faith Hill is. Yeah. She nice.
I like. I'm a Carrie fan. I like Carrie though. I do. She's good. They've tweaked the song a little bit. By the way, that's my favorite song in football. I get so jacked up for the waiting all day for Sunday night. I love that. By the way, don't say anything at all about the jizz of. I mean, here's the thing. I'm not going to clown on anybody. We just, he's a troll, and we just want him.
Hop around and troll.
Hop around and troll if that's what you want to do. But you're not allowed here in trolling like that. Not like that. Not with our community the way you guys are. So, but yeah. Here we go. We're getting ready for the second half here. Good evening, gentlemen. What's up, Broncos? I'm glad I did take the flyer on Drake London. Oh, man.
Drake London surprised me. I was worried about his ability to separate. I knew he could go up and make the contested catch, but I didn't know he was going to be able to separate like he has so far in Atlanta. At least thank goodness they threw to Kyle Pitts some today, Chris, because I'm so sick of seeing in my Twitter feed people whining about Kyle Pitts and how they don't pass him the ball for their fantasy teams. I was so over it. I'm like, it's been 2 weeks. Everyone calm down.
Shout out to Football Wife on 99.9% in ESPN. She's crushing.
I haven't even looked at that today, Chris. How am I doing in that?
I haven't looked at mine. I know I missed a couple of the major ones, like oh my goodness, and we have a flag. Wait, what's this flag? Is it for tripping? Is it for tripping? I mean, I'll take the flag if that's. I mean, it's kind of a strange. So on this play, Russell Wilson gets caught in the backfield, and the San Francisco defender ends up sticking his leg out to trip him up, and he falls to the ground. But I mean, let's hear the sound on this play real quick and see what this.
Legs tangled or a trip? You decide. That looks like a trip.
That looks like a trip.
Yeah.
The contact was ruled incidental.
It's incidental. Wow. Okay.
They picked it up.
So
we're going to have third down after a Nick Bosa sack. I mean, you might want to block Nick Bosa. I don't know.
I mean, he throws his leg out.
I agree. That should have probably been.
That's it.
You also might want to draw up a play where
you block the best pass rusher. Yes. Shotgun snap here for Russ. 3rd and 14. We're getting caught in these 3rd and longs way too often. Bosa's getting pressure right. Short pass up the middle.
That?
It's not. It's incomplete. Where are you going?
Goodness.
I mean, we're not even
14. A little dump off.
Why
don't you just throw the ball high in the air and yell out 500, Chris? At least you get a shot then.
So these are the kind of things that just drive me nuts. So he's looking downfield and then just. I don't understand it. I don't understand
I mean, was that a design play to go to the running back there?
It felt like it. The only reason why I feel like it's a design play is because they've been doing that all season long. Realistically, like that's what they do is target running backs. Football wife, must be your husband helping with picks. Says to you.
Decent. Oh, and then a hit at the end, but a nice little punt return for San Fran's going to set him up with pretty solid field position, just short of midfield. G-girl. Football wife, is your husband making your picks for you? The inquiring minds want to know, because we can't possibly have football wife in first. I'm joking, obviously. She's killing it. I did just check the standings, Chris. She's got a 3-game lead. I'm in second in our pool, and she's got a 3-game lead on me. I mean,
pretty good.
She is absolutely destroying people.
Let's see. Broncos, welcome to the punt, pass, and kick Sunday night special. Yep.
Yeah.
So Jimmy G here taking over and a handoff on play on the first play. And there's a flag on the play.
And they lost yardage anyway, even while cheating. I mean, it's truly remarkable.
It's truly. And so how will this drive end? Guys, here's a channel points prediction.
Defense, actually. Legal use of hands.
Guys, you can wager channel points on how this drive will end. Touchdown, field goal, punt, turnover, other. If you are correct, you will get more channel points to use on this channel. So go ahead, wager what you think. I know there's a ton of people with channel points out there. This is your chance to wager and see what happens. Ooh, and punt is already 15,000 channel points, or 1,500, sorry, 2,500. Ooh, everyone's thinking punt. A couple people wagering on field goal, touchdown. There is an incomplete, another flag. Man, flags are flying left and right.
I mean, this is now this one looks to be on San Fran. Illegal shift. This is, I mean, Chris. And you know what's even worse? Next week we have, so it's exciting because your team's on Sunday night this week. My team's on Sunday night next week. But next week's game, I'm worried about like being entertaining. It's Chiefs Bucks, and I don't know. That's going to be a low-scoring, ugly game too.
You think so? You think they'll have Chiefs will have trouble scoring against the Bucks?
Based off of what I've seen from the Chiefs the last couple weeks, I do.
We'll talk about the Chiefs, your boys, coming up here in a little bit. Pitch here, and that is going to get probably a few yards
7?
there. Yeah,
I think because they were first and 15, so I think that was 7 or so. They're at midfield.
But
I could be wrong.
22,000 points have been wagered on punt. So whoever is wagering on the punt, you might be winning some money here.
I wagered 10 on touchdown, Chris, just because I wanted someone to wager touchdown. Everyone's just all in on punt. So good luck, everyone. Good luck. I mean, that is the safe pick, you know.
Yep.
Oh, and they try to jeopardize it with a turnover instead, but they I think Jimmy G fell on his own botch snap here. I think. No, Denver.
Wow! Oh my goodness!
Denver with the fumble.
Let's go!
And no, but everyone. I mean, 22,000 points were just lost because Jimmy G can't collect a snap.
Turnover. Somebody wagered 10 on turnover.
He had the ball. It looks like
we'll wait to see. We'll wait to see. Oh, he kind of brings it in.
And then Josie falls on it. No, I think that's Denver football. He doesn't quite. That's not control to me. And then Josie comes in and gets it, and
Kyle Shanahan.
I just said Mike Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan looking. Is his beard a little more gray than I would have thought?
Devil Docs, who put 10 points on turnover?
They're rich.
Someone.
They're
rich, bitch. Yeah.
Wait, does that mean all of the points go to the person that got it right? Because it says 22.2K go to Cuban Benny.
Oh, okay. So I guess the
Cuban, did you put it on turnover?
Cuban, is that
Cuban, I mean, the Broncos fan in the house is like, oh, it's going to be a turnover.
Cuban?
Obviously.
Cuban's that guy that puts like the he puts like the $5 on the long shot and like totally. Oh my goodness!
My goodness.
Unreal. All right, another prediction to win your money back here. How Cuban, are you gonna double or nothing on those channel points? Is that what we're doing?
Because I am going. I mean, anyone who doesn't go punt on this one is out of your mind.
Punt is the favorite in Vegas at the moment, and by Vegas I mean Action Lab
How do I
Sportsbook.
change it to all my points?
just wager $1 million on a punt here. So already Denver gets himself in like second and long, third and long, more than any other team in the league. And another pass to the flats. We lost 4 more yards there. We're going backwards. Unbelievable.
The game of football is going backwards tonight, Chris. It's going backwards. Like, this is... Does anyone not have punt predicted? Where are we at?
Unbelievable. What are we doing?
What would other be? So if it's not a TD, field goal, punt, or turnover, what is other? Like a safety?
I guess, yeah, I mean...
What other, which means they would have to go 50 yards backwards.
All right.
That's bold.
Third...
69. Come on, kids. Let's grow up. It's all good.
Unbelievable.
And 3rd and 18, and a nice 9-yard pass to Cortland Sutton.
And punts. Everyone who wagered punts, you're good to
I don't know
go.
how you guys did it. I don't know how you got it right, but you did. As we are headed for a punt. Broncos country, let's punt.
And here come a lot of the boos. I'm telling you, I don't know. It's like we're allergic to throwing the ball more than 15 yards. I don't understand it. And our punting game tonight has been absolutely
great punt.
So that's the second punt.
Absolutely spectacular.
Our punter has pinned them back within 3 yards of their end zone twice so far tonight. So I will take that. And I mean, that's the one bright spot of this entire game for the Denver Broncos. This is our punting game and our special teams. Our special teams is playing out of its mind. Special teams, Scotty, how often do special teams win football games?
I know when they lose football games because I watched one of the worst special teams performances I've ever seen today, Chris, in a certain game.
Yeah.
But they can win football games. They're important. And I've taken for granted in Kansas City special teams because they've been pretty rock solid for as long as I can remember. And holy shit, today was the worst special teams performance I've seen from a team maybe ever with the Chiefs today.
It's crazy, man.
They're important, especially when you're punting every other play, Chris. You got to have good special teams. They're on the field every other play almost.
It's wild. The other category in the poll is rain out. I guess there's a rain out option potentially. There we go. Fake punt block. Other is someone flying a drone above the stadium, like in Seattle and Atlanta. Did you see that? There was they had to pause the game because someone was flying a drone somewhere above the players at the stadium, like some rando that was flying things over. It was kind of crazy. Money Magic, what's going on? 2 firsts and $250 million for Russell Wilson. Great value.
Yeah,
It's a trap.
It doesn't look great right now, Chris. I'm gonna be honest.
It doesn't look great at all at the moment. What else do we have? And we lost our points except the turnover. Oh, that was from earlier on. Okay, perfect. Joker Nation trash. Yeah. The offense for the Denver Broncos is I almost want to do the Hackett blunder just as far as the play calling goes. The play calling, I'm gonna hold it off for something a little bit more egregious. But all right, so going back to our bingo board, Russ hasn't thrown. Should I have put this at 15? Russ 15-yard pass?
Maybe. I mean, does he have what's the long they have in the game? Right
Well,
now?
actually, Judy I think has the long. So it might be close. He might have gotten it, but Judy has
Their
a
long pass is 34 to Cortland Sutton, actually.
Okay, so we hit it. All right, boom.
Yeah, that must have been in the first half. We didn't even check. No one even let us know.
Guys, keep us posted on the bingos.
I missed because I was driving home from the stadium, so I didn't see that. That was probably like a 5-yard pass, and then Cortland ran for like 29 yards afterwards.
Yeah.
Do you even remember that play?
I was like fast forwarding through some of it because I missed part of it putting the kids down. So I was like trying to like catch up in full speed and like, things get lost. Gregory ends up coming in on the tackle there. Second down for the San Francisco 49ers, 10-12 left in the third quarter. So still plenty of time, but got them pinned down deep into their own territory. Hopefully, this could be an opportunity for Denver's defense, who has been playing well over the first 3 weeks, to kind of capitalize on maybe getting a safety here, getting pressure here. He stepped out of bounds. He stepped out of bounds.
Which is the best
touchdown.
case, because then he threw a pick, but he stepped out of bounds first.
What just happened?
Jimmy Garoppolo doing his best Dan Orlovsky
impersonation. Let's go. What did I say? Let's go.
Goodness, the lack of awareness and
Trent Williams, that's
the best left tackle in the game. Is down.
Here, let's get the sound on this call here.
We almost had a defensive special teams TD right there, though, Chris.
Wow.
It's not often you can say bad break on a safety, but that was kind of a bad break because then he threw a pick six.
He just backpedals all the way out of bounds.
Not even, just not a care in the world.
I'm like, all right, well.
I thought about going other. This was an other situation. I thought about betting other here, Chris, just because I'm like, I could get a safety.
Let's see what happened to Trent Williams here. Trent Williams ends up, gets his kind of knee caught from behind, which is completely accidental there. So that
dirty play. No, I'm just kidding.
It gets thrown. That's not a good looking play. Anything lower leg like that is not.
He is a little injury prone, but he's also very, very good.
Broncos, someone holding a sign with "My favorite player is Sierra."
Milwaukee's best. That is not a turnover. It's not a turnover. It's a safety. It's different.
Nobody thought this would happen. Turnover.
Everyone lost their points. Joke's on you.
What up? Yeah, Joker here. Blah blah blah. What else do we got? How we doing, Joker? Hey, you're Kirk Cousins back on track a little bit today, right? There you go. Cuban. What else we got?
Cuban did say earlier, I told you guys, why pay him just in case Flacco isn't still his prime? And again, they basically doubled down.
Yeah,
they paid him because they had to, and now they're doubling and you pay him before. What happened? Like if they didn't pay Russ, and then this season continues where it's headed right now, which is offensively a disaster. If this continues throughout the season, long way to go. And then you try and pay him. You can't do it then, and then you've given up all these picks for what?
Yeah.
For what? So
it's not the best situation. All I want to see at some point is a progression to where the Denver Broncos are throwing the ball over 15 yards consistently. Like, can you just please throw the ball downfield? That's all I ask. Like, if we can get to a point where we're throwing the ball downfield, which is what you do in football, that's kind of the point of the game, is to like move the ball forward.
Yeah. We haven't seen a lot of forward yards this half by either team.
Can I do a channel bet or wager on the fact that the Broncos will be at least second or third and more than double digits going into their final play before they punt?
Anytime they're on a third and long, I'd like to vote.
How specific?
Throw short of the sticks.
How specific can I get? No, sorry, I could only do one bet. No, I'm just joking, reckoning. I'm just like predicting what's going to happen in the future of this next drive. And they're going to get behind. They're going to throw the ball behind the line of scrimmage. And it's going to be like a 2nd and 12, a 3rd and 14, and a punt. I mean,
Milwaukee's still on that as a turnover. It's just not. It's just not Milwaukee. Go to the box score and show me how many turnovers the Niners have in this game.
All right. So the Niners
one off that fumble that Jimmy had their drive before.
The Niners actually get a decent punt off right there, and the Broncos only get it to the 28-yard line.
29, maybe.
Oh my goodness! So it's not even a great start there.
Ooh, what's going on? A little
scuffle.
Extracurricular there. I didn't even see what happened. And there's a flag, of course, because we need the refs involved.
So we'll see what ends up.
Almost every play.
We'll see.
Look at Russ. By the way, Clint Kubiak went to school with Clint. Know him a little bit. He was a year younger than me. The offensive court is he offensive coordinator? No, QB coach. Sorry, QB coach for the Denver Broncos.
Holding by the receiving team.
Holding
Receiving
worse,
team.
Chris.
Penalty.
It gets worse.
So we got a holding call there on
And that's
Denver.
from the catch, so you're probably starting inside your 10, maybe.
Yeah, it's
Off of safety punt.
I think he caught.
No, it says at the 9. It says 19. Never mind.
Yeah, he got it a little bit. Did you guys go to high school together? Says Cuban. We did not. We didn't go to. No, we didn't go to the same high school. One, and then Scotty's a little older than me, so.
Did you mean? Oh, did you mean us two?
Us two,
I
or
went to the same high school as Clint Kubiak.
Yeah.
Also the same college. He basically followed me everywhere. Middle school, high school, college.
Kyle Shanahan, though, local boy here, went to Cherry Creek, and then also McDaniel down in Miami went to Smoky Hills. Both high schools here in the Cherry Creek School District within 20 minutes of where we live, Scotty. So, I mean, the coaching tree from Colorado is pretty.
Oh, look, an underneath pass to a running back. Where have we seen this before? Yeah, Cuban did go Cuban to high school. And good old I'm a Regis boy. I went to Regis High School here, which is also where Clint went.
All right, so 3rd and 3 here. I got a feeling it's if I'm a defensive coordinator for San Francisco, I'm covering. Let's see who Melvin Gordon split out left. I think is what I saw there. And then we have Russell Wilson's all by himself in the backfield. Everybody wide out on this play. Might motion some guys in here. Who knows? But we need 3 yards for a first down. We haven't seen too many first downs on this. And there we go. First down. Nice pass upfield to Cortland Sutton. And we will have a Broncos first down. We haven't had too many.
Is that the first down of the half?
It could. Honestly, it might be.
I think it is. I mean, yeah, I think it is. Outside of the penalty, the defensive penalty by the Broncos that gave the Niners a first down, but that was on a first down play too. So,
all right, single back left, snap. Russell looks downfield, looks left, throws left in the flats.
So boring. You're so boring.
And hey, Durandum, what's going on?
Thank you for the sub. Is the under good? I think the under looks very good.
The under
45 for this game. So the under looks great unless again, Chris, I'm shocked we don't have a defensive special teams TD yet. It's just it feels like it's a matter of time in this one.
Durandum, thank you so much for the subscription. Guys, if you guys are new, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. Twitch and Amazon. Ooh, jump off sides there.
A jump
and a big free play.
Throws to
nobody. It's free play down play after a jump off sides. Exclamation point Prime in the chat, like Football Wife has just thrown out there. You can link your Amazon Prime and your Twitch. So go ahead. You can subscribe to one channel for free each and every single month, once a month. There you go. Oh, Moon Princess.
Oh, Moon. Thank you.
9 months. Let's go. Thank you for the 9 months.
9 months with Moon. You're wonderful. Thank you so much, Moon.
Moon, your 2 top teams in the AFC end up going down today. You got the Bills and the Chiefs.
Moon, don't panic. I'll get into your game. I'll get into my game. There's no need to panic.
Handoff here. Handoff and gets just enough for the first down, about a yard past the first down marker. for Melvin Gordon. So they will continue this drive. This is the most first downs we've seen all game for the Broncos. Maybe they're in a rhythm. Maybe they got a little thing going here because they haven't been able to really get much up until this point.
So, fun fact, the graphic somehow... never mind. They did complete on first down. I was thinking it was 2nd and 10. Well, it did say it was 2nd and 10, and then it went to 2nd and 4 after the penalty, and I was confused.
But another handoff here.
Helmet on the field. Somebody lost their helmet.
Melvin Gordon gets the next handoff here.
Gordon, every Broncos fan in the world groans when Melvin Gordon gets the even though I think he's hated for... I mean, he's had some bad fumbles. I'll give him that. But otherwise, he's fine. Relax, Broncos. Everyone thinks Williams is like the greatest running back that's ever graced Earth in Denver. And I'm like, he's fine. It's okay to have two guys get the ball. They're both effective.
I mean, and here's you would think we're in the 90s the way we're running the ball every single down.
Well, it's not a bad decision.
No,
which is ironic. Like I saw a picture on social media of a buddy of mine that's at the game, and it was a picture of them in the stadium with his wife, and it just says "Run the damn ball," and I'm like, we're in game 3, and already Broncos fans are like, keep it out of the hands of our quarterback.
They just keep running, and even all the targeted passes are to the running backs. You would think that, if you drafted fantasy wide receivers here in Denver, you're probably having a rough go early on in your fantasy league season. Like you're not getting a ton of production. Here we go. Russ looks, big pass downfield and nobody.
No one. That might be grounding, quite frankly.
There's a flag on the play.
What's the flag? Russ is walking forward like...
Holding defense.
Okay.
All right. So that will continue this drive. Another first down. I'll take it. Come on, man. Let's go. Look, I'd rather have a game like this early in the year. We can turn it around, says Moon. Yeah, no, I think there's you're not going to win every game. You can take some of these early losses and learn from them better than losing like late in the season.
That was a generous call. Let's just put it that way.
Handoff here to Williams. Williams gets about 5 and we'll set up for 2nd down and 5. Hype train is close. Get the followers and the subs in. Guys, any bits? Anything you want? We are 30 seconds from getting into the hype train. So go ahead if you're here. You want to throw some bits? You want to throw a follow or hey, Devil? There you go. We got it. Let's get it. Let's get it going. Thank you so much, Devil Doc Balls. Appreciate that. Let's go. So shotgun here, single back to the left, hand off to Javonte, shifts back and gets maybe a half yard there on that carry. Thank you for the bits.
Absolutely. Appreciate it, Devil Doc. Reckoning's like Scott critical of refs. I don't know. That was... Don't worry. It'll come. That was pretty light. I just said it was a generous call. I can be a lot more critical than that. Don't you worry.
You have the whole Bills team.
Which the Bills put up stats. They just didn't score points today.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Gosh, man, we need to get something more than a field goal in this game. Russ calling out the play at the line here. Snaps the ball, looks right, throws right into the flats, and overthrows Judy.
That is one of the easiest throws you'll ever have, Chris.
Quite
honestly,
it needs to be a completion.
Open throw. That's where it was designed to go, and he misses Judy by a lot.
Overthrown behind. It's behind, and
behind.
Oh my goodness. So all right. So here we go.
Sounds like they might have missed the field goal, Chris.
And
based off the chat, Milwaukee says
Brandon McManus. He's already made a 55-yarder. Let's see what happens here. This is a 53-yard attempt, and it is wide right.
Not even close. I bet that would have been good from 64, though, Chris.
Maybe we should have kicked it like earlier on in the drive when we were around the 60-yard line.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did you say around the 60-yard line? Where is the 60-yard line?
I mean, a 60-yard field. 60-yard
Gotcha.
field goal range.
What's up, Chairman? How you doing?
Unreal.
Welcome in. We're good outside of having to watch this abomination.
But
we're good.
we talked to Brandon. We told him we needed it for bingo, so we got that.
We did need it for bingo. You know, that's more important.
I'll drink to that.
Yeah, I'll
than
drink
any
to
other sort
that.
of nonsense.
And you know what? Brandon McManus is our homeboy here at the channel, and he always takes care of us. So, you know, he missed that one. We needed him to, and here we are. Missed field goal. So
Chris, and maybe I missed this. Who is Devil Doc versus Devil Doc Balls?
well, we got him confused when they first both were in the chat together, and we were like, "Wait a minute, did you get a new screen name?"
That show?
Yeah, I think you were.
I
I think
blacked
you.
out that show.
Yeah. I think.
Got it. It happens.
But I don't know necessarily the relation of those two. You guys might have to help us out, but real quick, looking at some of these stats here, and Russell Wilson's 15 for 23, 126 yards. Jimmy G, 135 yards, 1 touchdown, 11 for 17. Broncos, for rushing as much as they do, have only gained 71 yards compared to San Francisco's 68 on 15 carries. And I mean, Sutton is having a sneaky game. Like, I mean, he's got 70 yards, 8 targets, 6 receptions. So, I mean, he's having a sneaky, decent game so far. But
you remember when we said Debo's definitely going to get to 80 because he had 77 yards at halftime?
He still has 79. He has 79.
Yeah, the 2-yard. Yeah. 79 yards. We're not there yet on Debo. Come on, Debo. 1 yard.
Oh, my goodness. This game. How will this drive end? Nobody thought. So we got so next drive, wager your channel points. See how many you can wager, and if you can, stack up some channel points for yourself. Now, right now we have a new. It looks like Jalen Moore is coming in, because Trent Williams had that injury, and I don't think it doesn't sound like he's going to be coming back. So you have this could be an opportunity here for the Denver's defense has played well this whole game, and you have some okay pass rushing to maybe get something going here, maybe a turnover, maybe some sort of, drop behind the line here, but nope, we're just going to let him go for about 15 yards here on first down. So, man, need to take advantage of these things. Need to take advantage of like these guys that are just like coming fresh off the sidelines. But nice start for San Francisco there offensively on that first play.
Chairman I was going to bring this up later, and we'll see how this game ends, but Chairman brings up a point. He says, buckles up, trolling helmet. After hearing all of the offseason about how the AFC West was gearing up, turns out the AFC West is trash. I mean, with a Denver loss today, the AFC West will go 0-4, Chris, if Denver loses this one. Not a banner day. You got the Raiders at 0-3.
Yep.
You got the Chargers getting blown out at home by the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'll say that again. The Chargers at home getting blown out by 28 to the Jacksonville Jaguars. And yes, Justin Herbert played. Like, the Chiefs go on the road against a Colts team that looked awful the first 2 weeks. And
a sack. Let's go. There we go. That's why we brought Gregory in, right? Let's get some love. That's a big play. That's one of the 1 or 2 plays that he's made this season that stands out so far. And guess what? It's on the left tackle. Left tackle just came in. Moore coming in for filling in on that offensive line after Trent Williams goes down.
And it did not go well for him.
It did not go well. So there we go. I love this.
So a third and they don't. There's no way they get this.
Hey, Grandmaster. Grandmaster Yoda.
Grandmaster Yoda. I had to put that together.
Let's go. Who's your team and where you're from? Guys, we are 9 followers away from getting a bingo square knocked off. 4th and 18, Garoppolo not getting. Houday! Oh no! Look at football wife. Let's go.
Got a Houday fan in here.
Let's go. Football wife is our resident Bengals fan. We have a lot of Bengals fans actually, but she kind of leads the charge here. So you are in great company here, Grandmaster Yoda. Welcome to the community. Too many Bengals fans at Wrecking It.
We gotta ban some of them. Rex right. Or not Rex, Devil Duck's right.
Football wife is she's the it's kind of like the Elk Club, but the Bengals Club here. And football wife is the headmaster of the Bengals, and
just great special teams.
Yeah.
Mackie, Scotty, are we okay today? Yeah, Mackie, I'll get into the game. I'm not overly concerned. Sorry, Mackie, I did see you message me in Discord about it. Mackie, you clearly didn't watch the game because I wouldn't say the Colts looked good more than the Chiefs just shit the bed.
Well, and there was a point, and it was just a one before the halftime, but the little thing with offensive coordinator and quarterback in Kansas City, that wasn't a big deal. I'm not making a big thing out of that, but you've been critical of the offensive coordinator there over the last.
I'm not a big Bieniemy guy.
Mahomes and Bieniemy, in case you missed it, got into Mahomes wanted to get a. Oh no!
Fortunate there after a tip pass over the middle to not get picked. Oh my goodness, Chris.
These
offenses literally don't want to win this game. Neither one.
And that was a pass. But that
was way too hot. You can't throw.
No.
You can't throw it that hot to a running back and 5 yards away from you like that.
But that's
You're
been
asking for a bad time.
What the fuck is this?
What the fuck is this? Yeah, it's exactly. Yeah. We had a safety where it was Garoppolo actually just ran out of the back of the end zone. Had no awareness of where he was. I'm
gonna pull out my hair right now. The gray hairs that I have. They're all like.
Are they getting more?
They're multiplying as these play calls continue.
Ooh, wait, and Melvin. I didn't even notice Melvin fumbled that, and Russ jumped on it. I don't know. The play kind of seemed like maybe it was dead, but he wasn't down.
He was not down.
That is just gonna fire up. Oh, intimidating. That's literally what I said when the play happened. I was like, he did his best Dan Orlovsky impression, except he didn't run to the side. He just ran literally straight backwards, backpedaling out of the end zone.
Unbelievable.
So that drive was 2 passes to the running back and a handoff in between.
Brother, this guy stinks!
Chris.
Is there enough? I might need something harder than what I'm drinking to get through this game.
In this season, quite frankly.
Oh my goodness. All right, here we have some bright spot here because we are going to have an amazing punt. It couldn't get worse than the Miami punt earlier. Did you see the Miami punt?
Yeah. Right off his own player's backside.
I think Mark Sanchez was like, "Dude, why are you stealing my thunder?" in Twitter. He was just like, "Hey, why you got to be the butt fumble wasn't enough? You had to steal my thunder."
And that was a huge deal when that happened. I thought Buffalo was going to pull it out because that made it a 2-point game. And then Buffalo, the fact that it was wild to me. We'll get into that game. That Miami on that 3rd down, Buffalo out of timeouts. There's a little over. I think there's like a minute 20 or 30 on the clock. That Miami decided to run a passing play, an incomplete pass that stopped the clock, was absolutely wild to me. I would have I know they were on their own 1 or 2 yard line. I would have just done a QB sneak and just run the clock. But I'm smart. So.
Pitch out here to San Francisco, and gets maybe to the line of scrimmage there.
That was our boy Debo, and we're still not to 80, Chris.
Come on.
He might be back to 78. I don't know. He might have lost a yard there.
Do either of these teams care about scoring? Is that it? I feel like it's just points are a premium here.
5, and we are at
Jimmy G
End of the third quarter.
Jimmy G obviously is taking over for Trey Lance, who was injured last week. So Trey Lance done for the year. Jimmy Garoppolo, all the trade rumors coming into this game were the fact that, where is he going to be? I mean, early before the season started, he was on the other training camp fields, throwing the ball to like trainers, athletic trainers, and just like on his own because of like all the trade like stuff that was happening. He was doing his own thing, and now look, he's taken over for this offense. Now, he has been a winning quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers. He's done, some pretty solid things for them, getting to the NFC Championship and, just kind of managing the games to a certain extent. I mean, Kyle Shanahan is obviously doing things to make him successful, but I mean, I knew there was going to be a ramp-up period for him, though. I mean, he came in halfway through, what was it, the beginning-ish of that last game? Trey Lance went down in, the first quarter?
It was early on in the game. It was definitely first half.
And then, ramping up.
Played about 3 quarters.
So that was the one reason why I thought Denver might have a chance in this game, is maybe because he still has some getting up to the game speed. Like, he only saw a half all season long. He played a little preseason, that's fine, but he wasn't expecting this. And now he gets thrown into the mix, and he's the guy, and has to get up to speed. Again, he did it last year with Kyle Shanahan, so Kyle is familiar with him, but that's why I thought, and Denver still is in this game miraculously based off of how bad their offense is played. But their defense realistically is keeping them in this game because the offense hasn't done anything. But Jimmy G is, I think, showing some rust.
Jimmy G's limited, obviously. He's not like Mr. Unlimited on the other side. He's nice. He's fine, but he's not going to win you games. He's going to keep you in games typically. Minus his fumbled snap and safety today, which he's been like a minus today, but just with those 2 plays, Chris, it's been rough to watch. I'm not gonna lie to you. And they're starting this drive at the Denver 41, and I feel like they're not gonna get points.
Chairman of the board, I was gonna say this is the Giants Rockies. We have a Giants Rockies score. Yeah.
No. The Padres Rockies today had 7 more runs than this game has right now, Chris. They got to, I think, 19 today. I think 13-6 was the final in the Rockies game. So come on, football teams.
Here we go. Jimmy G shotgun. Nobody in the backfield. Takes the snap. Looks right. Throws right. Ooh, and it is.
Tries, but does find the receiver.
He finds Jennings there.
Jennings down the sideline with a big first down, and Jimmy got up because he got hit on that one, Chris.
He took one there, and it's coming from that left side. That left side of Jimmy G has been kind of an issue.
It seemed like a broken coverage though.
Yeah, that was Jewell. Josie Jewell getting it.
And no one out there really.
Josie Jewell's had a decent game. He's had some like good tackles in the backfield. He's gotten.
Oh, they called it incomplete, Chris.
Wow.
And he did bobble it. Did he not get 2 feet in?
It did, I guess not. So that brings up a 3rd and 10. Jimmy G flanked on both sides and takes the snap. Looks left, throws left into the flats, makes the guy miss, and then almost gets pushed to the first down, but it will be a 4th and 1.
What do you do? 4th and 1.5. You're in field goal range. Do you kick a field goal to go up 10-5, Chris? Or do you go for it?
I mean, with points, this is points are a premium. I say you kick this field goal because there's no shot that you feel good about your either side making it down the field for a field goal opportunity.
If you kick a field goal and make it, the Broncos have to do something they haven't done all game, and that's score a touchdown.
Well, and that's the thing. Kyle Shanahan is 100% right, I think, here. I don't think you gamble and miss. I think you just take the points, knowing that the Denver offense hasn't done absolutely anything all game long. I mean, a missed field goal from Denver already, so but still, like that's all we've been looking at point wise in this game. When you're looking for points as a premium, you have to take this.
intimidating banana. They could just kick 2 field goals. Yes, but that would be double the amount of field goals they've made in this game. So that's a big ass.
What's crazy is everyone is so hyped about like everyone's just like jacked up about this field goal because they know how important this is. And then Nathaniel Hackett is just like, damn,
he's devastated.
Now I got to figure out Nathaniel Hackett. I was talking about this earlier in the day, but he hired somebody to help with game management, brought in somebody. And I mean, which is, Scotty, you were talking about this. It's a good move because, he's admitting, hey, I have a problem with this and we're trying to get it fixed. I got a guy. We hired him. He's going to help us with these situations late in games and game time management. So the fact that he's trying to get better makes me feel like he knows it's not working. But
yep. Yeah, I was talking to you about it earlier. And I was like, I'm totally fine with hiring a guy, but then you hire a guy who's like 90 years old and been out of the league for 3 years. I'm like, if this is an analytics thing, why are we you can't even get the hire right. Like this guy's just going to be like gut feel. I don't know, back in 1987, we would run the ball here and it would work out really well. Chairman of the board, Scotty, you are full on Anthony Jeselnik at this point. Yep. I actually, guys, you should have seen me last night. I went to a costume party last night, and I went as Post Malone. I had the face tattoos, I had the neck tattoo. I was rocking out full Post Malone. I kind of liked Chris. I'm not gonna lie, I liked the face tattoos.
You should just hook it up and just get some real life face tattoos. How many subs will it take for us to get Scotty some face tattoos?
In full disclosure, I don't have any tattoos, let alone a face tattoo. I have 0 tattoos.
If you're gonna go, you go big right off the bat.
Yeah. Most people start with the face, right?
Here we go. Another chance. Will the Broncos score any points this drive? No is overwhelmingly. And a big throw downfield. Oh, he drops it.
No, I think it was. I think the corner got a piece of it, Chris. I think the corner got a piece and deflected it. I could be wrong. It was tough to tell, but I think he got a piece.
Oh my goodness, what happens here? Hold on. Maybe. Yeah, he tipped it.
Definitely did.
But
that's there's no. I mean, that's impossible as the wide receiver from right there.
No. I love the shot down. Like that was the sexiest thing I've seen all game in this. We're getting hot in here, man. I need to open the window of that throw.
Feels like pass to the running back, Chris. Oh no, they leave the running back in, and Russ does his best running back impression.
And he's not going to. He's not going to get there. I don't think he gets there.
He's just short because he's got to get to the 30, the 35 because it was a touchback. So they were right on the 25. Do you go, Chris? Do you go here?
Oh man.
My thing is like, all right, if you miss this, it might be game over. If you get it, there's no guarantee you're getting points here. You're only at the 35.
True. Well, the insurmountable lead of 5 points is intimidating banana. Yeah.
Do you challenge that? I mean, it was close.
I don't think he got there. Maybe he.
I don't think you can. It's not indisputable for me, Chris, where you could overturn that he. You can't say for sure that he got to the 35. He's.
He's got the challenge.
I don't. Rex says he got there. I don't. Devil Dog season. All right, let me look at this again because I felt like it was. There's not evidence that shows me for sure
that the angle on the right isn't great.
If it's actually, if you see at the, I wish the camera was right at the 35. That'd be ideal because then you could actually see it from that angle. It looks like maybe he did, but like, I don't think this is going to get overturned, Chris. I think they're going to go with the call on the field.
I'm going to take a quick code yellow, and I'll hopefully come back, and we will. I'll take a first down if they give it to us, but
Spam code yellow in the chat while Chris goes potty. Yes, I have young children, so I do call it potty. Don't Don't judge me. What do you? I mean, it seems like most of you in the chat think that he did get the first down. Rec, I'm gonna decide for us. If Hackett blows 2 challenges in one game, it's a Hackett blunder, and we are knocking that off the bingo card. And somehow Debo. Oh, there's a lot of things out here on this. I mean, this bingo card only has 4 X's, guys. And it's because everyone in this game sucks. Everybody in this game sucks. Moon Princess, no judgment. I also say potty, and I don't have small children. I also don't think he got it. All right, so we have an agreement with Moon. I think if they called it a first down on the field, it would stay as a first down. But the fact that they called it short on the field, there's not overwhelming, indisputable evidence to me that he got there on that angle. It's just not. So I think he's going to remain short. I think it's going to be 4th and 1, and then you have a decision. I think you punt. I would punt. And hope the offense does something different, stupid for San Francisco, like a turnover or something.
We're still waiting for this. We'll bring the audio.
I did decide. Reckoning ass is 2 challenges failed a Hackett blunder, and I said yes.
Yeah, probably.
Like, we'll knock that one off. If he fails on 2, in here. See that angle he doesn't get there. Yeah.
But the other side of the field, the angle looks better. So it's kind of 4th and inches. It looks like here.
And Broncos country. Let's punt.
Oh my goodness. So Broncos punting here. Let's go ahead. We'll chalk that up as a Nathaniel Hackett blunder.
I mean, Devil Dog, I know it's not a blunder, but he's 0 for 2 on challenges. How often do you see a coach go 0 for 2 in one game on challenges? And now he's out. And now he's out of challenges.
And one less timeout. So
if there's a play in these last 12:28 where it's clear, and if they had a challenge, they could overturn a call, and they're out of challenges, it's a huge blunder. It's a huge blunder.
Guys.
Now, is that his new dude, Chris? Is that his new hire telling him to challenge that?
Yeah, it probably is. And then we got Russ here motivating his offensive line. Who knows what that's going to do here for us here in the in this last quarter of the game, but
do you think they get annoyed with him constantly coming over and like talking to him? It's gonna wear eventually.
It's gonna wear eventually. It's kind of like it. Oh,
and did he get 2 in?
I mean,
and to the fullback.
It looks like he got there.
The fullback tapping toes on the sideline.
I want to see this.
He's more of like a H-back.
I want to see if there was a little push off here. No, not quite. No. Not really.
And great job with the feet. Chubb just kind of falls over because Chubb doesn't play in coverage a lot. I don't think that's why they drafted him, a top 10 pick to have him in coverage, but I could be wrong.
And I think this is a great call for San Francisco right now. I feel like, running the ball, running some clock, knowing the Denver Broncos haven't been able to do anything offensively. I mean, you're gambling a little bit as it's still 11:41 left, tons of time, but Denver has shown no threat of being able to move the ball offensively. So I like them running the clock here. Just get a first down. If they can get a couple first downs here, I mean this is pretty daunting for Denver to come back.
Chris, Rack wants you to pronounce. Now that the play is over, how do you say and pronounce that fullback, the guy who made the catch on the?
Oh,
I think I know. I think.
So let me. It's I heard it early in the broadcast, and when they do the intros of all the teams, and they do like where they're college from, everything else. He said it, and I was like, "That's not how I would have pronounced it." So I already know I'm in trouble because
he scored a touchdown in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs.
Jusic.
No, he said use check. I think it's juice check. Juice check.
Kyle Juice check. I would have said juice check, but Intimidating Banana says use check in the chat.
I think you still say the J. I don't think I'm wrong on that. Yeah.
Broncos
Wait,
need.
who are you saying?
Oh,
Are you saying yep to me?
Oh.
You're saying yep. You don't say the J? Exhausting.
all right. So here we are.
Punting time again, ladies and gentlemen.
The Broncos get a lot of pressure up the middle here and force a bad throw here behind Jennings.
Debo.
Or just Debo. Yeah, Debo.
Yep.
So, all right.
That's an awful. I mean, he was under pressure, but really bad pass. I mean, that could have been picked.
That it was close. And I'm telling you, if this game is going to swing, it's going to be on like some weird play like that where it's a defensive. The Broncos have done overall fairly well. And there it goes into the end zone.
A touchback. Chris, I'm going to pretend this is a code yellow, but I'm going to be honest. I need another drink because this is hard to watch.
You and me both. I should have grabbed another one while I was out. I have one still here, fresh, but go code yellow. Broncos offense went potty too. So we'll do a code yellow for the Broncos offense and for Scotty. Spam code yellow in the chat. Guys, stick around. We will be doing the wrap up for all of the week 3 games. The morning and afternoon games were absolutely crazy. A lot of upsets. We had 2 top teams in the AFC going down today. Scotty's Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills end up going down as well. A tight one in Miami. That game was insane. So we will go ahead and cover all of those. Football-wise, Bengals got a nice win. The chairman, the Lions are always putting up points with whoever they're playing, so there's always like a barn burner shootout with that. Ah, man. It's so much going on around the league, so we will dive into all of those. But guys, make sure if you're here, hit that follow button or hit that subscribe button. We are 8 subscriptions away from 1 X off the bingo square, and also 9 followers away. If you're here and you haven't hit that follow button, hit that follow button. It means a lot, and we want to grow our community. More the merrier. And hey, let us know who your team is and where you're from. We like to get to know each and every single one of you guys. So join in, hit that subscribe button, and hit that follower button so that you know when we go live each and every week. Jimmy G hasn't thrown an interception yet. Scott hasn't cussed yet, but he will probably if he keeps seeing this garbage offensive lack of scoring here. I wish I could put those odds on these bets so I could put minus 1,000 on a punt. Double dock 15 to 26.
Maybe we just we change it to not how the drive will end, but more like, will it be a 3 and out? Will they get 1 first down? Like,
how many first downs? How many first downs before a punt? Maybe that's like, the next one here. But as uneventful as the offense has been in this game, it's still coming down to the wire in a sense that Denver is still in this as bad as they've played offensively. So who knows? It only takes 1 drive to get this going because San Francisco hasn't really proven that they can. They've moved the ball down the field, a couple times this game where it felt good.
Once, I feel like. I mean, they had that drive early on for a touchdown, and that's really been about it.
So all it takes is 1 drive from Denver and running the ball.
I get that, Chris, but I'm looking with my eyes, and I don't know how it happens.
The eyeball.
I don't know how they do it. It's going to have to be something over the top, like a over-the-top long play. It can't be this long, drawn-out drive. They're not consistent enough on offense to piece together first down by first down right now in this game. They're overmatched. It is a mismatch for both offenses in this game right now. They just can't hang with the defensive side.
Single back, going to be a pass to the right side here to Cortland Sutton, and that'll get us to a 3rd and
let's be nice.
2. 3rd and 1. Let's be nice about this game. We have to say something nice about this game. There's a little excitement that this might come down to a last-minute score.
Yeah, this is our first game on Sunday night, at least that's coming down to the wire, sort of.
That could go either way. It could. I mean,
yes, the Broncos are down by twice the amount of points that they've scored in this game. But it's a one possession game, ladies and gentlemen. They're only down 5.
3rd and 1.
Down
gets the first down.
Give it to Gordon, and he does pick up a first down.
First one.
So, for all of you that would have bet on a 3 and out, you were wrong.
you really got
that,
you got hyped up on that 3 and out, and maybe we need to get you hyped up on 3 and outs more often so they can maybe they watch the show. Maybe they're piping in our show to the stadium.
Are they literally showing clips about drop passes? Because those aren't drops. There were a couple in there that were drops, and there were just some.
And he's up.
Stays on his feet and at least is able to throw it away.
All right, I'll take that. I'll take that. I thought
that might be Russ's best play of the game right there, Chris.
Avoiding
that sack from Bosa.
Bosa's been getting a lot of heat this game. He's had a few opportunities.
Nice spin move to get at the pressure, and Russ is able to stay on his feet to throw it away real quick.
Cosmic. I lost $200 today on betting the Chiefs.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, Cosmic. Yeah.
I told people at work today, I said, I have a bad feeling. This was before the Chiefs game even started. I'm like, I just have a bad feeling about today. I don't think the Chiefs are going to play well. And
big throw.
Not even close.
But
I like that you even get excited when he throws the ball further than 10 yards. You're like,
literally, if you clipped this show out, the 2 most exciting moments that you've seen me on screen right now have been passes more than 10 yards.
and by the way, neither were completed.
And neither were close. It's bad. We're going to go into our best bets, Cosmic, and Scotty and I both combined for a decent week this week. So
Chris had a great week. I'm just destined to go 2-2 every week. That's 3 straight weeks of 2-2 for me.
Russ in the shotgun here, 8-16 in the 4th, looks down the middle of the field. Little pressure and oh my goodness. And a pass downfield. Let's go.
Got it. Complete to
man.
I don't even know who that was. That was not
that's
Judy. It was not Hamler.
The happiest
it was not Sutton.
The happiest he's been all night. Yeah, that's guy. You guys are seeing me just like the happiest I've ever been in my life watching a 20-yard pass.
I'm going to tell your wife that this was the happiest you've ever been.
Don't repeat that.
I'll let Lauren know. Let your children know. I'm going to tell Barrett right away.
That was a little blown out of proportion there.
Scotty, it was elite Denver QB Kendall Hinton. Oh yeah, how could I forget?
All right, here we go. 2nd and 6, guys. This could be the drive. I'm not jumping to conclusions. Knock on wood. Russell Wilson shotgun snap, looks down the field, looks right into the flats, and fumbled, dropped, picked up, and he's down. It's fine. No gain there. 3rd down.
I think Gordon is really trying to fumble every time he touches the ball.
He's almost dropped the ball 2 or 3 times this game.
I don't remember him having that problem when he was a Charger.
Oh my goodness.
I mean,
luckily he falls on it.
It bounced right back up to him. He got very fortunate. I don't know.
3rd and 6. Come on, boys. Let's get something going here. We were so good in 3rd down against Seattle, but we haven't done anything since. 3rd down, shotgun snap here to Russ. Down. He's run. Let's go.
First down.
Russ, that elusive slithering up the middle.
He's not exactly the Russ of old. Let's just put it that way.
Man, that was like watching slow-mo.
It's more like Russ is old.
Cosmic Kitty, this game is... Hey, we're trying to make it exciting here, Cosmic. We're trying to do what we can. It's still a one-possession game, so it's still anybody's game. It's
is this 4-down territory, or do you kick a field goal to make it where a field goal can beat you?
No, given what's been happening in this game, I almost think... Oh, man, I don't know. I don't want... Let's talk about that when we get to it. Unknown, what's up, buddy? How we doing? Unknown 2324.
What's up, Unknown?
How we doing, my friend? Russ looks downfield. Big throw to the right. Oh, nice catch. Cortland Sutton still on his feet.
Shoulder.
Gets to the 5-yard line. This is... All right. This is good
I mean,
and
no,
bad.
Portland, do not army crawl. You have 5 points and 5 minutes left in this game.
This is great, and this is a blessing and a curse in the sense that we've sucked in the red zone, but we're in the red zone for the first time all night.
And you have a chance to win the game.
And we have a chance to win the game. Let's go.
You haven't been in the red zone all night, and you can win this football game.
Come on, boys! Don't do this to me again. It's gonna be a handoff here.
It's a run play.
It's a run play for sure. Melvin. Oh, he gets to the 1. Okay. All right. All right.
Chris, the 1 yard line.
This is
nemesis.
If we fumble on the 1 yard line, I'm gonna lose my shit. I'm gonna the stream is over. We're not.
I would actually die of laughter.
We're not doing the rest of this.
Those stats from Nathaniel Hackett: 6 drives, 0 touchdowns in the red zone this year.
Is
this going to be their first red zone TD?
Week 3, if we fumble into the red zone, if we fumble into the end zone here, the stream is over. We're done. We're not doing the rest.
No, we're sticking around because I will be laughing my ass off.
All right, guys, come on, punch it in, please. Please punch it in. Let's go!
Got it. Melvin Gordon, everyone's favorite running back in Denver, gets the touch, and all of a sudden, Denver is winning this game. I don't even know how, Chris.
I'll take it.
I literally don't know how. Football wife Scotty said ass. Yeah, fine.
I love how
this whole game is ass.
I'm like so hyped right now, and Devil Dog's like 11-10. It's like bingo. Wait, we got a bingo. What do we got here? Hold on. 2 total rushing. No.
How did we get a bingo?
Wait, where's our bingo at?
Each team scores a TD and a field
Oh, you're
goal.
right. We got it.
Wait, where? Debo doesn't have 80 plus.
Does Debo have 80 plus? No, not yet.
No, I don't think so. Debo's got 6
touchdowns.
79, guys. All right, this is a big 2-point conversion here. Did they already score? Am I behind, Chris?
Hold on, let's see. Russ looks left, hits. Oh, it's not good.
Not good. So that's actually huge. Now a field goal wins it for the Niners. I don't know if they can. I mean, 11-10, Chris.
11-10. The Broncos. This is a 1.5 point spread, 2-point spread. We got tacos. Let's go. All right. So each team scores a touchdown and a field goal off the board. We need 1 yard from Debo, and we have our first bingo.
What? Chris, he had 77 yards at halftime.
The 49ers offense has not done much. I mean, they haven't really accumulated.
Offense not done much. I mean, I will say Denver put together a long drive there, as impossible as it seems. I mean, let's look at. I mean, what is? Let me look at this play-by-play of this second half, Chris. Before that touchdown drive. In the second half here, trying to figure out where I can even see where the second half started. There it is. First drive was -4 yards for the Broncos. Next drive was 7 yards and then a fumble for the Niners. Then 1 yard on the next drive for the Broncos. -2 yards and a safety for the Niners. 46 yards with a missed field goal for the Broncos. 10 yards.
How much
for the Niners?
Hold on.
-3 yards for the Broncos, 8 yards for the Niners with a field goal. They got a field goal on an 8-yard drive. And then 9 yards for the Broncos and a punt. Then 31 yards for the Niners with a punt before that 80-yard drive. So literally, before that 80-yard drive, I don't even know. Like, we probably had a combined 50 yards of offense.
Right now, so I made the mistake of making a 450 passing yards block.
That is such a low number, Chris.
It's such a low number, and right now
we're not even close.
We're not even close to total yards being there. I mean, well, no, we just passed total yards. Total yards is just getting over that hump to like 500. I mean, you have 240 and 259. Like, we're barely just getting that with total yards.
We're at about 500
guys,
total yards.
You guys can influence gifting out a sub. We have 9 followers left. We already had 1 follower already. If you were here, hit that follow button.
That's right. If you're not following, that can get a bingo.
This could literally be one of the easiest bingos we ever get. For all of you guys who are hanging out in the background, just lurking, I love you guys. Thank you so much. Hit that follow button, and you can help. It's free, and you can help influence a bingo. We haven't had a bingo in like a week and a half. Actually, no, 2 weeks.
We've had like 1 bingo all year.
It's been bad.
It's been rough.
So, guys, help us with a bingo. Let's get that follow button. We already had one person. We had Grandmaster Yoda already give us a follow. Let's get some more follows in here. Let's get some more people giving us some love and getting a bingo gifted out to the community. A gifted sub. So, there we go. All right. Here we go. Jimmy G leading the charge. 4:10 left in the fourth. 10-11. Jimmy G looks downfield. First down. Get a lot of pressure. Ton of pressure.
Oh, for a second, I was like, is that Debo?
That's Wilson Jr. gets that catch here for about 6 yards. So that'll bring up a second down here on.
I'm going to call it 7, Chris. I'm going to call it 7.
We can call it whatever you want, man. I'm liking the pressure the Broncos are getting, but Jimmy's starting to get the ball out a little quicker. So
he didn't get it out that quick there.
Mitch T has thrown more than both of these guys. Talk about pain.
I mean, that is awful.
That's bad. All right, here we go. 2nd and 3. Overthrown and
trying to get Debo involved again. What?
3rd and 3. There's a big 3rd and 3 here. If we can, get the stop. All right. So
I'm a little surprised with the play call there, Chris. Now, if he completes it, is that a first down? Yeah, but Chubb obviously affected how high he had to throw it.
All right, here we go.
Look at that. 3rd down conversions. 0 for 9, Chris, headed into this 3rd and 3.
All right. Come on, boys.
Down. Look for San Fran.
Come on. Let's get a big stop here. It looks like they're going to bring some pressure here.
And an empty set. I'm shocked at an empty set.
Oh, we almost had it. Oh.
Found Jennings on the sideline. That was a tough throw. I mean, that wasn't easy.
No.
It was not easy at all.
I thought maybe he could have jumped that a little bit, but I mean, just barely out. That's a great throw.
It was. Put it right. Pretty much the only spot that could have made it a complete.
That's good defense, and that was a great throw. So I can't be too upset about that. Jimmy G, 184 yards, 1 touchdown, 16 for 26. Both of these quarterbacks look very similar in this game, by the way. Like, they're very similar looking quarterbacks. Jimmy G in shotgun, looks right, throws the middle of the field, gets another catch, first down for McLeod. Clock is running, 2:40 left, 2 timeouts for Denver. Those come into play here as they move down the field, right?
So getting field goal range, sure.
Yeah. So San Francisco still has all 3 timeouts to work with. And they had the 2-minute warning as well. So this next play will most likely take it
time for San Fran. They just got to get in field goal range.
Exactly.
It's a question of whether they can, along with how Denver decides to use the clock if and when they get in field goal range.
Intercepted! Let's go!
It is. That's a pick. That's a pick. Trying to force it in. I mean, that was double coverage. Tried to force it. I think Jimmy knows that we're trying to get a bingo, so he forced the ball into Debo there. Chris, if you guys get to 2-1, it might be the worst 2-1 football team I've ever seen in my life.
Well, I don't care. We got that pick. Nice.
I mean, what is that throw? Did he not see? I mean, that had 0% chance of working out. And that was first down, Chris. It's not like it was like a 4th down. You got to force it in. That was first down.
Look at this dude.
Let's go.
Jimmy does not want to get paid.
He's not.
He does not want to get paid.
All right, so we had a Jimmy G interception. Right there. What else do we have here? What are we missing? So the bingo there. So Broncos. So 3 timeouts. They will
It feels like a run play, Chris.
Yeah.
It's a bold call by me, but it feels like a run play. I'd call a timeout if I was.
Yeah.
If you can before the 2 minute.
No, they didn't call a timeout, which.
You can get it before the 2 minute. Although that opens up. You know what that does do is that opens up them to be more likely to throw on second down, which maybe you don't want because that allows you're going to hit the 2 minute warning, so you can be more aggressive on second down. This hits the 2 minute warning, second and long for Denver coming out of the break. But I mean, I literally have no idea what Jimmy was doing on that play.
I mean, there was triple coverage, and he was like Samuel was like draped all through that play. It wasn't a smart throw. And the Denver defense has been kind of knocking on that door little by little.
It was a good throw if the second defender that was just standing there wasn't even there. Like he wasn't open even with that. And then the tip drill falls into the hands of the linebacker.
Oh.
And Denver might come away with an 11-10 win. It's obviously not over, but the offense for San Fran has been an unmitigated disaster.
Can I just say
since they had that touchdown?
Here we go. What do we got?
That butt pump was asinine.
That butt pump was asinine. Well, it was asinine, yeah. Jimmy G kills me, man. What's up? How we doing? Hey, who's your team and where are you from?
Xerxes.
Xers? Xerxes. Well, who's your team? Are you a 49ers fan? Welcome in. Giants. Let's go.
Giants. G-Man trying to get to 3-0 tomorrow night.
How do you let
Cowboys?
G-Girl is also a Giants fan.
Giants fan, of course. All right. Pitch play. We're going to have a timeout here. 3rd and 9. You got to be aggressive on 3rd and 9. Thank you so much for the Shaq Shimmy.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah, I think I have in my pick. I think I have the Giants winning that game. Let's go, Big Blue, says G Girl. All about it. So Jimmy G looking back at the play call here. 3rd and 9, still 2 timeouts for San Francisco. 1:55 left. Now, given the fact that this game has been super slow offensively, I still, even if we don't get this and we punt it away, it's still not great, but Denver's D has played fairly well over the course of this entire game. So I don't want to leave it up to that though. You want a first down here.
You throw the ball here.
You throw the ball.
If San Fran didn't have any timeouts,
why does it look like we're running the ball?
I don't know, Chris.
Why does it look like we're running the ball?
It does look like we're running the ball.
Oh my goodness.
You all right? You're basically just saying your defense is. Because a minute 51 and 1 timeout is still a ton of time to get in field goal range. They don't need a touchdown. They just need a field goal.
Why do we play
game management new hire?
Why that counts as the blunder? We already got that blunder off, right? They play scared, man. Like play to win the game. Play to win the game. You play to win the game. What are we?
I hate that they ran the ball there on 3rd.
Like, take a shot. Take a shot towards the sticks and then get it in bounds. Worst case scenario, you don't get it. And the clock, they still have to use a timeout.
Chris, I did say there were only 2 undefeated teams in the league earlier on, and it's just occurring to me that the Giants are also undefeated.
The Giants. There you go.
There's 3. Here we go.
Oh my goodness. All right. So special teams. Let's see where we can pin him down. Oh, he drops it. And it's a loose ball.
That would be a fitting end. That would be a fitting end, Chris.
Oh my goodness!
What a fitting into this game.
Niners ball.
Pointing Niners ball, but that would have been a foot. For the drama, that wouldn't have been as fun. But goodness gracious, what are we doing? What are we doing?
By the way, this 49ers team, and I'm not jumping to conclusions here, but I think they'll get better over the course of the season with Jimmy G as he settles in. But they're showing the flashback of stepping out of bounds there in the end zone. They're supposed to be one of, and I do think that they're a very, very talented team on paper. They haven't looked great at least from playing against the Broncos team that I haven't really been excited about so far this season. But here we go. 1st and 10, 142 left, 1 timeout. Oh, and pressure and sack. That's big. That is massive. That's Gregory coming off, and then also Chubb.
Chubby.
Though that's huge. They're gonna let this keep running here. 126 still running. 4th down. Kyle Shanahan. They're in the end zone, saving that timeout. They just made it a lot harder for themselves. 2nd and 22 here. Shotgun snap.
Why does Jimmy hate himself?
We still have a chance to get Debo some yards here. Looks downfield. Oh, and a underthrown. Fumble, and it's over. That's it. There's a fumble, and that is the game. And we are celebrating in Denver, baby. Let's go. That's it.
What a way to finish.
Kyle Shanahan berating the referees, and that is gonna do it.
The referees fumble?
So that is, the ball is out, recovered by Denver. That is done. Wilson Jr. gets the fumble there. 2 bad teams, GG's. You know what's crazy is like the Denver.
Chris, you're bad.
The Denver defense isn't. I want to see us play. I mean, this is not a bad offense in San Francisco.
Oh, but we haven't played a top half of the league offense yet.
Well, yeah, we still have some big time teams coming down the pipeline, but our defense has been outshining our offense by far. It's not even close.
Well, yeah, that's an understatement.
They're showing the replay here about Jones potentially jumping a little early, but
offsides on that.
It's too little too late for that to be a thing. So right now, Nathaniel Hackett will get another win and improve Denver 2-1 on the season. San Francisco dropping to 1-2 after all of the things that have been going on here with Nathaniel Hackett and just the criticism, all the things. He still has a long way to go. He still has a long way to go. He made some mistakes here. It's getting better, but I'm still waiting for the offense to get let loose. And I don't know if we'll see it. I don't know.
I mean, hey, credit. They won.
Russ fumbled the snap on the kneel.
Did he really?
I don't know. That's what Rex said. I wasn't watching. What a ride. Let's ride. There's no ride here, LMAO.
I think, and call me crazy, but I think Drew Lock could have put up 45 points in his first 3 games at the helm of the Broncos.
All right. Well, either way, that's a win in Broncos country. We'll take it. It wasn't pretty. By any means, it wasn't pretty. But when you recap the Bills game, you got to show the video of Ken Dorsey at the end. At the end up in the box.
Yeah. Did you see that? He just lost his mind. Absolutely. Lost his mind.
He destroyed the camera, I think, right?
I think so. And he was just pounding the table and throwing papers and a lot of passion out of Ken Dorsey.
It takes some time to adjust after you had your offense playing around getting Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. He literally got a coaching job because he had Aaron Rodgers.
Messy win, but still a win, says Moon Prince. That's true. I'll take it. A win is a win, but okay. Yeah, no, 100%. I think there's still a lot to be concerned about in Denver. As a Broncos fan, is what I just saw, what we've seen all season long. There's a lot to be concerned about. But at the same time, I'll take the win. If San Francisco's going to be giving us a free dub, I'll take it. So, isn't it weird how Vegas has these lines though? Well, the Vegas line was 2. It was like 1.5 to 2. It was kind of back and forth, and this ended up being like a 1-point game.
Jimmy G's Dan Orlovsky cost him the game. I mean, maybe not because things change, but technically that counted for 2 points, Chris. And they lost by 1.
JK says, Chris, enjoy it. I would have taken a 10 to 11 cards win today.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like that's what I'm saying.
I don't know. I actually don't know if I would have taken 11-10 Chiefs win. I would have been like, no, you have it. Someone else take it.
What else do we have in the chat here? Yeah. What's he complaining?
Last week I said good teams find a way to win. I retract that. Sometimes bad teams find a way to be even worse than the other bad teams.
True. You're not wrong.
Roger.
I mean, this was offensively, this was the worst NFL game I've watched in a long time.
It was pretty rough because both these offenses, I think, are just hindered in some level. One, you have Jimmy G coming in. He has his things that hold him back a little bit, but he's still coming into the offense. He just got inserted last week in the middle of the game. And then you have, him getting up to speed. Then you have Russ, who, both teams have a game plan of throwing to the sidelines most of the game. It's just a bad brand of football to watch throws to the sidelines and the flats all day long. Like it's such a boring way of playing football. Hey, but it's there's one team that wins and one team that loses each week, and we'll take the win this week.
That's not true. Sometimes you tie. Chris.
Sometimes you tie. Yeah, there are those Colts and Texans games that kind of give you a little bit of run for your money. But guys, what did you think of this one? Any other last thoughts? I think overall takeaways. I mean, I'm looking at the stats here. Let me pull up the team stats. Not a great game overall offensively for both sides. We've talked about that a lot. But I will say, let's see, passing first downs 9-8 in favor of the San Francisco 49ers. Rushing first downs 3-5. Completions and attempts, yards per pass. This is an interesting one. Yards per pass in this game, 5.4 for San Fran, 4.3 for Denver. So,
by the way, both those would be for a season long the worst numbers in the NFL.
It's bad
by far. Those are that's like historically bad.
But the key, the big, given the fact that this was such a close game, the big factor was the turnovers. You got 2 lost fumbles for San Francisco, and you had the 1 interception thrown. So, that's where it came down.
And that doesn't include which Milwaukee would like to include the safety.
Yep.
The safety along with the turnovers is what allowed Denver to win this game.
And that's the big thing that if you were to tell me to go into the season fresh off of getting Russ in the offseason, thinking this was the way we were going to go.
3 turnovers, Chris. The turnovers were 3-0 in this game.
Yeah. And if you were to tell me that after getting Russ, a franchise quarterback, the first time we've seen a franchise quarterback in a while, that the defense would be better.
Are they interviewing Russ, by the way? Interview like a defensive player.
Interview
Russ.
Is that a Scott Cuss? That's a Scott Cuss there.
Well, we already had it.
But... Oh, yeah. Oh, there we go.
Wait, guys, we still can get a bingo. We just need, 8 more followers, Chris?
Yep. So the ones, defense special teams touchdown, the 2 total rushing touchdowns aren't going to... Debo was 1 yard. Was he 1 yard done?
Yeah.
79.
77 at halftime and couldn't get 3 yards. We probably jinxed him. We said at half, I'm like, he's at 77. He'll get that.
we just need to shut our mouths. Interview Bradley Chubb. 100%. This is the best Bradley Chubb game we've had in a while. This is the best Gregory game we've had in a while. Josie Jewell had a great game. I felt like he was in the mix when it came to early on in the first half. He had some nice tackles behind the line, getting pressure on the quarterback. I thought Josie Jewell was all over the place early on. Kind of faded in the second half, but loved what he did.
He said it was a great game and that the coach is amazing. I mean, Russ. This is why you don't even you shouldn't interview Russ. He's so fake. He's so fake. What do you mean it was a great game? It was a shit game. He should be like, we got to get a lot better in offense. We got to figure this out. Don't pump sunshines and rainbows when you win a game 11-10.
So,
especially when you're the quarterback. If you're on the defense, if they interview, someone said Bradley Chubb. If they interview Bradley Chubb and he says we played a great game, absolutely. Of course. Do that. But don't interview Russ, and Russ is like, oh, we had a great game. We had a great game plan from our coaching staff. And we made all the right calls to score 11 points and win this game.
So
they would have lost to the Padres today, Chris, in Denver.
Yeah.
The Padres were in Denver. They put up 13.
Padres outscoring pretty much. I mean, baseball teams outscoring football teams here in Denver. It's just couldn't the way it is. No bingo. Seriously, couldn't get 2 rushing touchdowns. Also, there's a petition.
We only got 2 touchdowns.
There's a petition in the chat saying that. I mean, the ball did go into the end zone. It wasn't a touchdown, but it kind of feels like a touchdown for the defensive special teams touchdown. And you know what?
No.
The defense special teams touchdown, maybe a safety should count for that, says Chairman. And like, part of me is just like, let's just gift out a sub just to make it work. But then I'm like, I don't want to be, too give, like,
It's
it's
not theoretically a touchdown.
Right.
And that's what the spot says there. It's got to be a TD.
It does. It's not a TD. Devil Doc says. So yeah, like we could stretch the truth.
Devil Doc balls. You gotta say the whole name.
But guys, you guys can help us. We are how many? We're 9 followers away.
8.
8 followers away. We have Xerxes and we have Grandmaster Yoda. We have 8 followers that we need to gift out a sub to the community. You might be able to be a beneficiary of one of those gifted subs.
Isn't it 5 subs? It's 5 subs, right?
I mean, if we get there, I'll give 5 subs. If we get
Don't we usually get 5.
typically,
Isn't that the deal?
No, typically it's 1 per bingo.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I don't even know the rules of bingo. I've been here every time.
I agree. I was just trying to give you a thought on how. Okay, here we go. Hold on.
Can't we just get a sympathetic bingo lol?
A sympathetic. You know what? Let's do it. We'll do it. Let's.
We can gift 1.
2,
even 3. I don't care.
By the way, Sunday Night Football next week is featuring Brady and Mahomes. Now we're gonna get into all these, but Brady and Mahomes. I would say of every of these games, Brady's looking washed, right? Have you? Brady is just in a bad place. I was watching that game and I was just like, how? Maybe he should have just not.
I was dead wrong on that game. I thought 1st to 20 would win, and they didn't even get there. Now they did put up 14 and 12, so both of those teams would have won the game tonight at least.
All right, there we go. Gifting out a sub to Emo.
We net at speed.
Emo, we need a speed.
We net at speed.
Hey, congratulations! You are the new recipient. We wanted to gift out a sub.
Congratulations,
Scotty. We have never gone 3 weeks without a bingo. This is like, it's been strange to start the season without this. Like, it's crazy.
It's hard when a lot of our stuff's offensive related, and we have 11 to 10 games.
Thanks for the gifted sub. Hey, you're here. Appreciate that.
What's up?
Hey, enjoy. Who's your team and where are you from? Like to get to know you a little bit. Thank you for being a part of the community. You see, it warms our hearts. I love it. Guys, go ahead and hit that follow button. We are 7 away from gifting out 1 more sub to the community. So, guys, let's go. Let's get it. Let's get some more people in here and have some fun talking some sports. Let's do it. I mean, this game, let's put this one in the books. We've talked a lot about this one. If you guys have more thoughts on this, I think the only other takeaways are Russ. Here's my takeaways as a Broncos fan. I'm still worried about the offense. The defense is showing promise. And I am really concerned that Russ is pretty much done. Which is what a lot of you guys have been saying. But
it's terrifying.
It's terrifying.
That should be terrifying.
because we have not seen. I could probably count on one hand or two hands, maybe, the amount of throws I've seen downfield that have been completions that I've been excited about this season in 3 weeks. And that's
quite frankly, his offensive line, a lot of those plays, he had time. Like, his offensive line, I thought, played pretty well tonight. I know Bosa got in there and pressured a few times, but overall, I thought the offensive line for the Broncos protected pretty well in pass coverage. And he was just like, couldn't find people. I don't know if no one's getting open or he's just can't see because he's little. Or he doesn't trust his arm. His arm strength looks a little depleted, but fine. It's not like it's terrible. But I thought literally 3 years ago, I would have said he's the best deep ball thrower in the game. Like, his touch on deep balls was unparalleled, and now he doesn't even do it. Sure. When he does, it's not close. It's just bizarre.
Chairman, I never thought Denver would be bummed that they didn't have Drew Lock. I'm not going that far. I'm not going that far, but Drew Lock did present more downfield viability throwing the football than Russ does currently, which is terrifying. But that I don't know if the play calling is trying to protect Russ, or if the play calling is maybe like very conservative. The conservative nature of this, that one play that they didn't go for it on what was it?
Third and 9.
The 3rd and 9 that they ran.
Just ran the ball.
Like,
bizarre.
That tells me that they are very, like, the storybook on the Broncos is they like to use their running backs in the passing game, and they like to run the ball. They're a run first team, and they like to use the run as a number one priority. And I don't know if that's a story that wins you games in today's NFL. It can control a game, but it could also lose you a game if you don't have the firepower to build yourself and get yourself out of that hole that you've dug yourself if you can't compete with the opposing offense. And it's like that. I think the most concerning play was that 3rd and 9 not throwing the ball. That's the most terrifying play of all in this whole grand scheme of things, of like gambling and just trying to win a game. You play to win the game.
Yeah. And now they're 2-1. They get to go and play Vegas, who's 0-3 next week. We'll see what happens. I actually expect Vegas to win that game, I'll be honest. But we'll see. Who knows?
Yeah. So there you have it. Let's go ahead. I'm going to take one more code yellow, and we're going to dive into our recaps from the rest of the games. Time to bring back Graham Shanahan to the Broncos. Cuban, hack job doesn't trust Russ. Cameron has caught them arguing on the sideline a few times already this season. Go ahead.
What did Russ do today to? Now on that 3rd and 9, I thought it was wild that they didn't throw the ball, but it's not like Russ is doing a ton to allow Hackett to trust him. I mean, it was awful for outside of that 180-yard drive. It was awful. Spam code yellow as Chris takes another potty break here, and you're stuck with me for just a brief moment. He'll be back, guys. Don't worry. But why, Cosmic Kitty? Who's worse, the Broncos or the Raiders? I don't even know how to answer that. The Raiders. I think the Raiders are going to be. I think Josh McDaniels wants to absolutely obliterate the Broncos based off of his past tenure. I think the Raiders' offense is certainly better than the Broncos. I think the Broncos have a far better defense. Lions Den, what's up? Thank you so much. Coming in with the raid. Welcome in, everybody. If you're here, it's not just me. It's me and Chris. I'm Scott. Chris is on a little potty break real quick. We are just about to, we just recapped some of the Denver-San Fran game. We are going to get into all of the Week 3 action right here, right now. Thank you so much, Lions Den, for the raid. Love you.
Let's
I hope you had a
go.
good stream, Lions Den. How was it? You had to endure that game as well. I know that was probably tough. It was brutal on our end too, and we have a Broncos fan here, so
it was brutal. Guys, thank you guys. Hope you had a great stream, Lions Den. Hey, let's give a shout out to Lions Den and make sure he guys go give Lions Den a follow if you haven't already. He crushes. He has a great content over there. Great dude. You won't meet a nicer guy. Go give him some love. Also, guys, we are 6 followers away from gifting out a sub. I have our bingo that we do here. There we go. Now we're 6. Let's go. By the way,
6, and there was a follower that made it 6, Chris. That's confusing.
Or 5. Right, 5 more followers, and we are gifting out a sub. So, guys, enjoy the free sub once we get 5 more people to jump in and give us a follow. We're going to be breaking down the rest of the action earlier on in the day, so don't go anywhere. We have a lot to talk about. Guys, share your favorite team and where you're from if you're new to the channel. We want to get to know you guys a lot better. So you're at home with a lot of other fans from all over the country, so hey, let us know. Here we go. Fly, Eagles, fly, says Devil Doc. So,
nice. We got some Eagles fans in here, and they have looked. I mean, you could argue that the Eagles, and it wouldn't be a crazy argument at all, have looked like the best team in the NFL through 3 weeks, Chris.
Yeah. No, Eagles look great. 4 follows away. We are 4 follows away. Thank you, Oaken and Merging Rock. Let's go.
Rock. I was gonna get there eventually.
I got beat by Scott. And now I'm in shambles. There we go. Oh,
and now Chris, I am in shambles. I get like me beating you makes sense, but losing to Chris, what happened, Lions?
I mean, I'm just saying. Casually, things might get spicy. By the way, both you guys, Devil Doc. Falcons in the building. Hey, Merging Rock. Falcons. I had the Falcons as one of my best bets of the week, and they came through. Falcons. Let's go. Falcons got a win. Let's talk about that right off the top here. Falcons at Seahawks. And I'm telling you, this game it was kind of surprising, but kind of played out the way I was looking for. Like, the way the Seahawks have been playing in recent weeks, ever since the first half of the Broncos game in week 1, they haven't really shown much offensively, and they haven't shown a lot of life. So, with that being said, the Falcons have been scoring points left and right this season. They've been competing in games. They've been close games. They've choked games away, but they still have been putting up some numbers, right? Which is why I was like, Falcons getting 1.5 points going into Seattle. I know it's a tough environment, but I love the Falcons here to get a little to win this game outright. I mean, they were getting 1.5 points. I love them, and they ended up coming through. I watched this one. I mean, they were going back and forth. This game was tied multiple times throughout the day, and Geno Smith, kept them in there for a little bit, but eventually he just ran out of gas, like Geno Smith should do at this point. But Falcons end up coming out with a win. Mariota got some nice plays down the line. There was a big turnover at the end of the game to seal it. Falcons doing their thing. They just have to finish, says Merging Rock. Yeah. And I think the Falcons have an interesting team. And we were talking a lot about a couple of their playmakers earlier on in the show. Man, they can put up. I mean, Kyle Pitts has kind of had a slow start to the season, but he's going to ramp up.
He had a nice, he led them in yards today. You got Drake London. You got pieces there. Mariota's played, pretty well. Made the mistake last week against the Rams that in a game they could have won late. But they put up right around 27, right around that number every game, week in and week out so far this year. So Mariota's led that offense far better than I expected. This game did come down to, Seattle did have the ball at like the 30 of Atlanta with the 1st and 10 and went backwards. And then on 4th down, I think Geno threw a pick. And Atlanta gets a big win. I had Atlanta in a teaser. So I cashed on that. My teaser finally hit. I had a teaser that hit this week, Chris. And both those teams, not only did it hit, but both those teams won outright in my teaser, the 2 underdogs. But Falcons get a win here. What does that mean moving forward for the Falcons? Part of me, Chris, actually wants the Seahawks to get 1-16. And I want them to go 1-16.
Yeah, I know you do.
Their
I know you do.
win to be against the Broncos, and then I want them to, draft a franchise-altering quarterback with the number 1 overall pick, and then watch the Broncos with Russ. It'll make me happy.
By the way, real quick, I was looking at ESPN stats and info. 4 major professional sports teams to play in Denver on Sunday. So Padres scored 13, the Broncos scored 11, the Niners scored 10, and the Rockies scored 6. All pretty close there, by the way. But yeah, I think the Falcons are a team that you don't want to sleep on this year. They're definitely it's not
an automatic win.
It's not an automatic win like you would normally expect from like some of the other, teams in the league. I worry about teams like outscoring the Falcons some weeks. I mean, the Broncos, if the Broncos had to play the Falcons, I would be terrified knowing that we wouldn't be able to outscore a team that can actually put up points. So Falcons did what they had to do. They beat the Seahawks here. Seahawks are starting to regress to what we thought they would be earlier on in the season. And there you go. 1-16 says Mr. Boofus. What's up, Mr. Boofus?
Yeah. How did the Rockies battery do? Well, they gave up 13 runs. So not great, Wreck. But I still think the batteries, first of all, it's just a stupid name. It doesn't even make sense.
Guys, in case you don't know, we learned what a battery was recently. And
most people are like, what is a battery?
It's something you put in electronics, right, Scotty?
It's a pitcher-catcher combo, apparently, Chris. And why not? Because baseball uses weird terms all the time. So why not have a battery? Call it a battery. Stupid.
It is what it is. So Seattle ends up moving on. They will be playing the Lions next week. So that'll be an interesting matchup for Seattle. I think the Lions, I like the Lions in that matchup actually a lot. Lions have been pretty competitive. And then going into the next game for the Atlanta Falcons, they will be playing the Browns. The Browns at home in Atlanta. So that will be the next matchup there. That could be an interesting one, a sneaky, decent game of teams that probably don't have the higher expectations, but it could be a super entertaining game overall. I think that could be a fun one to watch. So next up on the list here, we have Mama Murphy. We're 4 follows.
Murphy, let's go. Getting that Shaq shimmy out there. Shaq looking nice as
Mama
always.
Murphy.
Thank you, Mama Murphy, for the follow.
Who's your team and where are you from? We'd like to get to know you. We are 4 follows away from gifting out a sub to the community and getting our bingo. We play bingo every Sunday night. We need to get a bingo 4 away. 49ers in Cali. All right, so Mom Murphy, you are our first 49ers fan, I think. We don't have too many 49ers fans. But welcome in. I mean, what did you think?
How did you feel about tonight's game?
Yeah, we need to get rid of Jimmy. I mean, Trey Lance definitely gives you a higher ceiling for your team with like the dynamic nature of what he can do on the football field. Jimmy has done okay for you, but
I think in this situation, Trey Lance might have been the better option because at least he can do something with his feet. I think I thought Jimmy in the regular season would be an upgrade, but tonight, I mean, I have zero doubt that Trey Lance could have put up 10 points.
The username checks out for rattling rectum. So I ordered some hot curry goat from Uber Eats, and now I'm pooping paste. Yeah,
that'll happen.
It's a trap for sure.
Will happen.
Jimmy is trash. Well, Russ was on the same level as Jimmy, if that makes you feel any better, Mama Murphy. And we paid a lot more money. We paid a lot.
That's true.
We paid a lot more money for our quarterback than you're paying for yours. So if that makes you feel a little better, like, you might be, better going for it. I do like the 49ers moving forward as Jimmy G gets integrated. Like the thing that I was worried about with the 49ers was Jimmy G getting up to speed when he wasn't planning on playing for the 49ers in the first place most of the offseason. And all of a sudden he gets thrown full force into being the starting quarterback after a couple weeks. So
is it getting up to speed when you run directly backwards out of your own end zone or when you throw a pick in double coverage directly to a guy or when you fumble a snap and give the ball
there
up
are some
midfield,
kinks.
Like, is that going to be corrected? I don't know. I mean, G Girl says it though. She's like, he's cute though, so that's important.
We are 4 follows away from gifting out a sub. So Rattling Rectum, anybody else who's hanging out with us, enjoying the stream, hit that follow button. There we go. Boom. 3 follows away. Let's go.
Let's go. Rattling Rectum.
Recap of Jimmy every game, first
like
half.
that name.
Play.
I'm not even sure why.
He's got that curry, man. He's got that spicy curry. I love it. I'll take Damien Dimes over Jimmy right now. Okay.
Chris. I've been busy. One of my fantasy football teams, I had Trey Lance at quarterback. I tried to do something earlier in the week, and it was not working. And moving on to a new quarterback, and then today, I learned I didn't even have a quarterback in, Chris. So guess what? Danny Dimes is starting for me tomorrow.
Oh no!
Fantasy football. But I'm already winning. I just want to get more points. I'm going to win. I would have won the matchup without a starting quarterback, Chris, in fantasy. I would have won without a quarterback. Thank you, Mark Andrews.
Ninja Kyler. So happy we beat San Francisco. Looks like we have a Broncos fan. What's up, Kyler? How we doing? Hope you're doing well. A Broncos fan, I'm guessing. Hit that follow button if you're new.
Says we. They say we, so that feels like a Broncos fan.
Let's go. Ravens Patriots, though. We both had this as one of our best bets. We were both on opposite sides.
I wanted to change this one. I would not have made this my best bet if I could have had more time. Although they were up like 20-14, and I was like, oh, maybe it'll actually hit.
The big story at the end of this one was there was a big injury on the last play for Mac Jones, who ended up coming off. He was like literally jumping on one leg off the field because he got hurt at the end of this one. So that's not a good sign for the Dark Lord here, Bill Belichick, who, by the way, people are loving your photo here of the evil emperor.
I'm trying to make my photos more incorporate the action, and I was able to do so more with the early games than the late. But yeah, Lamar looking all fly and happy, and Bill just literally about to murder someone, or evil emperor Bill.
So yeah, this game was, and actually, oh no, you're right, J Cross. It was 37-26, in this one.
Oh, you know.
we like to give Bill Belichick an extra 2 points just to feel better about himself, because he's obviously not in a great place.
Are you sure there wasn't a safety late?
By the way, J Cross, your Eagles, they flying right now. They're flying, right? So Lamar Jackson is absolutely the fantasy stud that we all expected him to be. He came in and had an incredible game here. And the Ravens ended up putting it to the Patriots. Now, we talked a lot about the Patriots and how, we said, and the more and more we saw the fact that we're not super high on the Patriots, the more and more they're starting to become that team that is looking up at their standings and looking at Miami and looking at Buffalo and like, man, we are not in the same class. And that's very evident at this point with Miami coming off. We're going to talk about that fantastic game later on. But Bill Belichick is in a lot of, he might not make the playoffs the rest of his career if he can't turn things around. I mean, looking at what Lamar Jackson did, 218 yards, 4 touchdowns in this one, and carried the ball.
5 total touchdowns.
Carried the ball for 107 yards and a touchdown. I mean, that's better than some running backs right now in the league.
I mean, pretty much all running backs.
Running backs.
100-yard games on the ground. Losing matter last week, but I mean, it's pretty wild. Listen, what does Baltimore do? Because you're right, Lamar's going to be a free agent. Now, they could always franchise him, obviously. But he's going to be a Raven next season, regardless.
They're keeping him.
But whether it's on the franchise tag or they sign him to a deal. But what do you do in the Ravens when Lamar has a huge year again and then he loses in his first game of the playoffs? What do you do? What do you try and pay him? Mama Murphy's like, nah, don't French him. I'll give him Jimmy for him. You're gonna literally. That's if you didn't give Jimmy, it would be a better option.
Yeah, no, J Cross you're right on point. He does it all the time during the regular season and nothing in the playoffs. That's why that's my thing with him. I don't think Lamar can win in the playoffs. And until he can do it in the playoffs, it's hard to get over that hump with Lamar and feel good about him once, the end of the season comes around. So but Mama Murphy will take him for sure. Love Lamar's agent, QB/agent.
Yeah, he's his own agent, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Which I understand if players want to do it. I think usually they end up not getting good deals through that, but to each their own. If you have the confidence that you can work out a deal and you don't want to pay an agent that commission or whatever, do your thing.
So with Mac Jones going down, I looked at the depth chart of the quarterbacks. Brian Hoyer, it would be their quarterback to step in if Mac Jones cannot go moving forward. So
Brian Hoyer has been the backup in New England, it feels like, for 47 seasons.
Yeah. You're not wrong. And so the way Hoyer's still there? Yeah, he is, G-Girl. What's up, Seven Sly? How we doing? Michael Vick vibes with Lamar, so similar. Yeah, he's great with his feet. He's
better than Vic. I'll give him better than Vic.
Yeah. And he's making some decent throws.
I just don't trust him in the playoffs. I really don't.
Lamar should have made his mama his agent. I mean, mama knows best.
She might be, and we just don't know.
Yeah.
Chairman, wasn't Hoyer playing when they had leather helmets? I think so.
The Patriots will end up, so they got the loss here, but they have a tough matchup coming up next week at Green Bay in Lambeau. So that'll be an interesting one next week. And then on the opposite end, you have the Ravens. The Ravens will be matching up next week against the Bills, which that'll be a fun one. Bills,
be a good game.
Bills and Ravens will be an interesting one for sure. Now
can't wait to dump money on the Bills on that one.
Ooh, the Bills. Well, man, the fact that we saw a couple teams lose this week that we didn't expect. Mm-hmm. We'll talk about those in a minute, but that threw this week 3 all up in the air. So I can't wait to get to those.
Mama Murphy's getting so desperate she wants to call up Alex Smith. Don't do it, Mama Murphy.
Don't do it.
Don't call up Alex Smith.
Don't do it.
It'll be okay.
Be strong. Be strong. Jimmy G, Mama. Jimmy G will get better. Hopefully, you hope. And Kyle Shanahan is too smart of a coach to let him just drown the way he kind of did tonight offensively. But Bills Mafia, baby, was his rattling. But speaking of, oh my goodness,
Pat should trade for Gardner Minshew. We will take a second for him, LOL. Yeah, you would. Gardner Minshew's maybe worth a 7th. Maybe.
Where is the stash right now? Is he just completely? Where is he at the moment?
He's on the Eagles.
Is that where he's just? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. He's back up on the Eagles.
All right. Fair enough. I'm confused when Jimmy stepped out and it was a safety, but he threw a pick 6 on the same play. Well, the step out of bounds takes precedence because that happens first, and then once that happens, the play
tried to one-up his lack of awareness on the field by throwing an awful pass to the flat for a pick 6, but really dodged a bullet by stepping out of bounds in the back of the end zone first.
Yeah. This game hurt to watch. This Bills-Dolphins game was insane. Now, I was watching on Red Zone, and Red Zone was almost exclusively watching this game because it was just so all over the place, back and forth. Now, one of the bigger stories in this one was the fact that there was a point where Tua gets knocked down, and then he gets back up, and he's stumbling off the field visibly on camera, like bad. Like he is.
Oh no, it's real bad.
He's concussed or something. Like, and then they blame it.
No, it's a back.
It's injury. A back injury. Sorry, I should have seen it earlier. a back injury totally just makes you lose your mind and fall down like you can't even stand up straight. This was bad, and the NFL is probably going to be reviewing this at some level.
They're already investigating it
because there's zero chance that Tua should have came back in this game. When he came back in the second half of this game, I was shocked.
There is no chance this was a back injury, Chris.
Zero chance.
Clocks up. You're not dizzy. You're not falling over. You don't lose your footing. You're like tight in your back, and like it's clear it's a back thing. It's total BS. It's just honestly, I didn't have a horse in this race in this game. I was excited to watch it, but I didn't care who won. I thought it was disgusting that he ended up back in that game. I've never seen something like that. There's no way that was a back injury. My picture here is literally the lineman just holding him up after that play.
Yeah,
holding him up, Chris.
Because
my other picture over here is Ken Dorsey, furious, just really angry. After the last play.
This was the last play where the Buffalo Bills ran out of time. They couldn't get the ball spiked, and they were marching down the field. They didn't have timeouts, so they needed to spike the ball. They got up to the line of scrimmage, and they were just 1 second short. So then they flashed up to the offensive coordinator here, and he was just slamming things around the room. The camera went out. He was he threw his headset down, just going crazy. But this game, he flipped his shit. Yeah.
This was the most fraudulent game I've ever seen, Chris. Well, one of them. The Dolphins won this game, and everyone's like, the Dolphins are for real. The Dolphins are great. They're so good. Dolphins have it. They beat the Bills. Let's look at it, Chris. The Bills had 497 yards of offense. Miami had 212. 212 to 497 in offense. The time of possession was 40 minutes, 40 seconds to 19:20 for Miami. First downs, 31 to 15. Like, I know the final score was 21-19. I understand that. The Bills were the far superior team, even today. And this was a tough spot for the Bills. They were on a short week after Monday night. They're going to Miami. Yep. It's hot as hell. They had issues with heat and some players being questionable due to like being overly hot. They purposely put the visiting team on the sideline where the sun hits the whole game, and then the other side it doesn't hit, and so the Dolphins are able to keep cool on the sideline where the Bills obviously I don't know if I've never been to Buffalo, but I hear it's cold. If I'm a Buffalo fan, I am not worried at all. Not one iota. And if I'm a Dolphins fan, be excited about it. Get pumped that you're 3-0. This was a fraudulent win to me, Chris. I still don't think the Dolphins are like a legit contender for sure. There's no chance the Dolphins make a run at anything this year. They'll make the playoffs, and I picked them. Again, people are like, you hate the Dolphins. No, I picked them before the season started to make the postseason. I think they look all right. They look good, but are they gonna stack up against Buffalo in the playoffs? Hell no. That game won't be close.
I just think that the Vegas wasn't given enough love to the Dolphins in this one, based off of the fact that they on a neutral field they were saying this is a 9.5, almost 10-point spread on a neutral field, and I was just like,
I mean, the stats gonna say that though, Chris.
But at the same time, I mean, the Dolphins still backdoor cover. We're getting into gambling talk here, but I just felt like this was just a closer matchup than what it was. By the way, interesting stat: since the start of the last season, the Bills are now 0-6 in games decided by 8 points or fewer. The only other winless team in one-score games over that span is the Texans, who are 0-6-1 after their loss today.
Yeah, the Bills literally did not. Every game they won last year was by double digits. It was It's kind of a bizarre thing. If it's close, they seem to lose. Murphy, I'm gonna be honest. Finns at most are a first round exit. I agree.
I think you're right.
Unless the Finns play Baltimore in the first round, then I don't know. I don't know what to do, Chris. I'm at a loss.
Ninja Kyler sounds like the Cowboys when they win. They win one game and they think they're going to the playoffs. By the way, Ninja Kyler, if you're not following, hit that follow button, brother. We need 3 more followers. And we can gift out a sub to the community. So anybody, that goes for everybody out there. Hope you guys are enjoying the stream. We are continuing on with this, but this division is going to be fantastic moving forward. I think
it's a two horse race.
It's a 2-horse race.
The Bills are still winning this division.
Yeah, and the Bills are for sure the better team of these two. Dolphins just got a better.
It's actually not close.
Dolphins just got a better end of this one, and the Miami is that home field advantage. That heat. There was a lot of players that were cramping up. You know what I've never understood, Scott? These are professional athletes. Don't they like hydration is like a thing? Like, isn't hydration a thing? Like the trainers.
You can only do so much as a trainer to tell someone to drink water. Bruh.
Like, come on, man.
As coaching, you can just be like, hey, make sure you drink water, but at some point, these are adults, Chris.
Don't forget the pickle juice game, says Rec. NFC Rams, Packers, Eagles, and Niners.
And only one of those teams has actually impressed me this year. No offense to your Niners, Mama Murphy, but right now the Eagles have played far superior to any other team in the NFC. I'm not saying that's how it's going to finish at the end of the year, but right now the Eagles are clearly the best team in the NFC.
Eagles look great, and Cuban, this just had to be the week I didn't start Singletary.
Well, that's why he went off. If you would have started him, he would have had a terrible game. How that works, Cuban.
Yeah,
that's how that works.
Absolutely. So this will. So let me take a look at who these teams have moving forward. So, I think I got it right here. So the Dolphins will move forward, and they will be playing the Bengals in Cincinnati. So that'll be a nice test for them, I think.
Since he's a 3-point favorite, that's Thursday night. That's coming up here, Chris. That's Thursday night.
Thursday night is going to be...
Love this spot for the Bengals. Love, 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 love. I wish it was at 2.5, and I would bet my life on it. At 3, or the worst case, you're pushing.
And
Bengals will win that game.
And then as far as the Bills go, the Bills travel to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. So we just talked about that a little bit ago. Football Wife's hyped.
That game's probably the game of the week.
Bills Ravens will be a fun one. 100%. I think that'll be a great one to see where these two AFC teams stack up. You got 2 quarterbacks that are very dynamic, and I think that'll be a fun matchup. Let's go Niners. Got a bye week coming up on October 3rd.
Mama Murphy's already looking forward to the bye week, so she doesn't have to watch that offense.
Mama Murphy, thank you for hey. By the way, Mama, you're at home, but there's a lot of ladies in the chat here, so you're gonna feel right at home with all the. I mean, Football Wife, Bengals fan, Diacola, Broncos fan. All of our ladies represent strong. We got Bills fan with Moon Princess. We got a lot of great ladies in here, so welcome to the community.
Mr. Boofus Doofus, if the Dolphins beat the Bengals, then Miami is real. I don't think I'll think Miami is real all season, Chris.
You don't think so?
No. Miami is not real. I like they're good. They're just not like a contender. They're not a contender. They're a good football team, which is why I picked them to make the playoffs, but they're not a contender. They won't be this year. They won't be with Tua ever. How about that?
Interesting. Okay. J Cross, bet all your subs on the Bengals. Woo! Mama Murphy. Oh, we're playing the Rams October 3rd, but we win every regular season against them. So yeah, so you should be fine. I mean, those division games, right? I mean, they're always fun. They're always competitive. Scotty.
G-Girl. Rack wants me to grow the beard if Miami wins a playoff game. Maybe. We'll think about that. G-Girls, Miami's legit. Sorry. Did you not just hear me? They lost the yardage battle today by 1 million. It was 497 to 212. I know they won the game, but let's be honest with ourselves. They were nowhere close to the better team on the field today. Not even close. And they only won last week against Baltimore because Baltimore lost their damn minds and didn't want to cover deep when they were up 21 against Tyreek Hill.
Scotty, if Miami wins a play, Beard. Miami's not real, says Boofus. Miami's defense isn't legit, says J Cross. If Miami can win the last 5 games, then I'll call them legit, says Mama Murphy. Okay.
If they win the last 5 games of the season, then they're definitely legit because that means they probably won a Super Bowl.
Well, and we got to figure.
Yes. Yeah, I get that they beat the Bills and Ravens. I understand that. I do. But no, they're not good. I'm sorry. They are good. They're just not. They're not a real contender. They're not a contender. G-Girl, if you'd like to make a wager on like Miami winning the AFC, I'll give you like 5-1 odds on that.
Ooh, we got throw it in our wager in our Discord. If you haven't joined our Discord, we have a lot of fun talking sports offline when we are not live. So go ahead and join our Discord. And there you go, Reckoning. Appreciate that throwing in there. We have a lot of fun. So guys, let's keep the conversation talking online, offline. Let's do it. Don't click the shady links. Yeah, Reckoning. We've had a lot of weird things happening in our Discord recently. Bengals Jets was another one today. Bengals Jets. Bengals ended up coming off. This was one of my best bets of the week. I had Bengals coming off, and this felt right for me to take the Bengals in this one. They had 2 rough losses to start the season. Going into New York, the Jets team led by Joe Flacco, I was like, there's no chance that the Bengals start 0-3. If that's the case, then we're in trouble if you're a Cincinnati's Bengals fan. I love the Bengals this week. They were 4.5-point favorites. I think they bounced 4.5, 5.5, somewhere in that range. And they ended up doing business.
You keep talking. I'm going to do a code yellow.
Spam code yellow in the chat there for Scotty A. Smith there. Make sure, give him all of those code yellow. But one of the weird and concerning things for me still for this is, sacks are still an issue for this offensive line. The Bengals, I want to say, sacks and yards for loss. They had a couple sacks, but like the protection and giving Joe Burrow time, I thought it was going to be I thought he was going to have all day, every day. He still struggled a little bit, but still, it was an amazing bounce back game here for the Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow, 275 yards, 3 touchdowns, looking great, no interceptions, staying clean, right? Joe Flacco, not even close to the same stat line, only 285 yards and a couple picks. But loved what they did here, spreading the ball around too. Tyler Boyd and T. Higgins getting in on some of the action. With both almost 100 yards each in this one. And then 3 different wide receivers with touchdowns for Joe Burrow. So I loved what they did across the board, spreading it around. That's the success that you need from the passing game. Joe Mixon did some good things as well, but a little bit more non-existent, taking second fiddle to all those amazing receivers that they had. But I want to... The Cincinnati Bengals offensive line still is a work in progress. Still needs to, kind of tighten things up a little bit throughout the course of a game, because there are still times where Joe Burrow's running for his life. So other than that, there's not really much else to talk about in this one. Jets are who we thought they were, and the Bengals are back on track.
Yeah, I had this as my survivor pick. I talked about I took the Bengals this week. And that was nice. Felt comfortable. Listen, Burrow had a nice game, 3 touchdowns, 275 yards. I was worried at one point, Football Wife, I'm sure you were, and whatnot, with T. Higgins and the hit he took after having a concussion week 1. He took a rough hit, but he came back in the game, shocking. Like, so many people coming back into the games that I didn't expect. That one, like the T. Higgins hit, I'm like, all right, like, I trust that way more than the Tua who couldn't stand up, but it was because he had a back injury that he was dizzy. I know every time I hurt my back, I get super dizzy. And let me know in the chat. I know I'm bouncing back to that game, guys, but like, let me know, how do you guys feel?
Can we put a reckoning? Reckoning throw.
The fact that Miami, the doctors okayed Tua coming back in that game. And again, I did not have a horse in that race. I didn't bet on the game. I didn't really care who won. I just wanted to see a good game. But I think that's malpractice, letting Tua back in that game. That's just how I feel.
I mean, that's going to be a storyline of the week.
I'm not usually like one to like protect players like that necessarily, but that was clear. But back to this game, it was early and often, since he was up, 20 to 9 at half before putting a touchdown in the third quarter. They looked better. Still some issues, no doubt about it. But they were only sacked 2 times in this game, Chris. Okay, only 2 times. So that's a huge improvement. Get their first win of the season. Now they come back Thursday night against a Miami team that's going to be celebrating probably out on the ocean tonight, doing shots at Tyreek's place. I don't know what they're doing. But I think Bengals win on Thursday night. But that'll be a good Thursday night game. I'm excited for that one. Bengals, Dolphins should be a fun Thursday night. Glad Bengals got in the win column and took care of me in my survivor pools. In our survivor pool, what do we have left, Chris? Like 5 or 7 or something like that?
Yeah, we're already in that prize pool right there.
Yeah, well, I'm still in there.
Well, you can't win prizes. Cincinnati
I can.
But given the short week and given the investigation, a very interesting storyline will be whether or not Tua plays Thursday night. If they consider it a back thing, we keep going back to that. But I
didn't even think about that.
But that's
true.
Like, if he might not play in this game, and I don't know what the look ahead is in that game.
It's Bengals -3 right now.
Bengals -3. I mean,
I should bet it right now.
I almost want to bet it right now too.
I want to bet the Bengals hard,
because right now, depending on what happens with this investigation, Tua might not be available given the circumstances of what took place today on that concussion protocol that he ended up coming back into that game. So right now you're seeing both of us bet this live.
I'm literally grabbing my phone right now. I am betting the shit out of this game on the Bengals. -3. I wish it would. If it gets to 2.5, I'll be bummed. But I can't. I don't think it'll get to 2.5.
Just unloading. We're just, no big deal here.
I just put a nice $250 bet on the Bengals. Let's go.
Back injury, my ass, says football wife. JK, back injury.
How do they even think that they're getting away with calling that a back injury?
So, anyways, that's what the Bengals are looking forward to this Thursday on a short week. So, I mean,
I'm all on board. Let's go on Thursday night. Let's get a W.
Mama Murphy, dang, no Tua and loss of draft picks feels bad to be a Finns fan. And we're kind of speculating on no Tua, but like,
they won't lose draft picks either, but they'll be fine if they find something there. But isn't there supposed to be like a third party doctor there? So that's what's confusing to me, is like there's supposed to be like a third party unrelated doc.
Thank you. Let's go.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate that, football wife, gifting out the sub to G Girl. Thank you so much for the generosity. You were incredible. If you guys are enjoying the chat, join the channel, having a good time, hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button. It means a lot and it supports the channel. So Lions and Vikings was the next one here. Now, any type of Lions game that you have, always bet the over. They're always soaring over the over. And this is no exception. And by soaring over, I mean this was already projected as a high over, but 24-28. Now the Vikings had a battle in this one. They had to claw their way back into this one because they were down in this. And I was watching this. By the way, can I say something?
No, you may not. Okay, fine.
I underestimated what red zone, like the value of red zone. There was a free red
zone's incredible.
There was a free red zone weekend this weekend for YouTube TV. And I'm like, how do I live without red zone? And
I didn't even know you didn't have red zone.
I don't. And I'm just like, it's part of what I'm doing moving forward.
Incredibly worth it. I have it.
It's so worth it.
TV,
and I'm just like googe. Like it's insane. It's so great. If you don't have red zone, get red zone. It's incredible. But I was watching this game, and the Vikings at home struggled a little bit against Chairman's Lions here, and they finally got back. They got into this game at the very end and ended up pulling it out. But Vikings end up coming in with this one, and Vikings are a team that we were high on early in the season. They have had their struggles, especially in primetime Kirk Cousins last week, coming off that loss, but ended up getting a win today, Scotty.
Yeah, I mean, you said it. The Lions were up 10 in the fourth. Kind of let this game slip out of their grasp, as the Lions tend to do.
It's story of the Lions. Like, that's the story of the Lions. Like, they just let games slip away.
They missed multiple field goals in this game. Like, I feel like, and the Vikings missed a field goal as well. A couple as well. Both teams missed 2 field goals. But I feel like the Lions were maybe slightly the better team here and let it slip away late with a couple touchdowns in the fourth quarter. They were only like 50-yard drives on both those touchdowns for the Vikings. So I feel like the Lions are a better quarterback away from being very legitimate. And let's be honest, they got to improve on defense too. They're giving up a lot of points week to week. The defense isn't there, but the weapons on offense, the Swift and Williams combo at running back with the offensive line who is just dominating people. And then you have Amon Ra on the outside. You still have Hawkinson. They're just Goff's not that dude, obviously, but I would be pretty happy, honestly, Chairman. I know the Lions were 3 of 16 on third down, 4 of 6 on fourth down. So that kind of theoretically makes them like 7 of 16 then, right? Because they went for it that often. But Jared Goff's not that dude. They got to find a dude. I don't know where you find him. I don't know where they're going to end up, because I think they're going to win games. I don't think they're going to have a super high draft pick. I think they're going to win, 7, 8 games. I'm still in that boat.
Yeah. Jared Goff had 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 277 yards. Nothing to write home about. Williams was probably the better bright spot in this one. And Swift has been in and out, right? He started out strong and it was a nice fantasy prospect. Only 7 carries for 31 yards. So yeah, it was.
Why is he only getting 7 carries, by the way?
Yeah, I
mean, 7 carries for 31 yards is a good stat line. 31 yards on 7 carries is 4.5 yards a carry, Chris. That's perfectly fine. Oh, Swift was hurt? Chairman, sorry, I was at work. He got hurt? I did not know that.
Let's see. Do I have some audio coming through? It's weird. Someone's saying I have audio coming through. So
they just said they can hear your nose.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, I don't know what.
I don't know what sound your nose is making though.
Oh, maybe too close to the mic or something. Swift was hurt. Remember the past when they called Goff a top 10 quarterback, says Mama Murphy? Yeah.
It is bizarre.
Yeah.
He's nowhere close now.
Swift had a bad ankle coming in, but got worse. It was definitely a pitch on a pitch count today. Swift has been dealing with a nagging injury.
Okay. Yeah, because that happened prior to even last week's game. So if that's the same injury, okay. Gotcha.
Skull, though, Joker's all about his boys getting that win, 28-24.
Nice comeback. The concern, if you're the Vikings, of course, Chris, I'll even say it out loud here, and this is with people that are in the same league as me. I have Dalvin Cook in one of our fantasy leagues. He got hurt today. Madison comes in. I literally drop Madison from my roster. I'm like, oh, I don't need him to handcuff Cook. And now here we are. I need Madison. I need him.
Hey, Fireball, welcome in. Hope you had a great stream. Hope everything's going well. Welcome in, everybody coming in from Fireball. Hey, go give Fireball some love if you haven't already. He's great. Go give him a quick follow and make sure you guys know when he goes live. Thank you. I know my team has concerns. I dropped Madison. Thank you so much, Double Doc, for the shout out. So the Lions have the Seattle Seahawks, which I think that's a winnable game. I'm dumping money on the Lions easy on that one.
The dub.
Meanwhile, the Vikings, another easy dub, you would think, is playing the New Orleans Saints next weekend. And
Saints look like trash right now.
Saints look like trash. They played and lost to the Carolina Panthers. We'll get into that game in a little bit, but the Saints aren't it. They couldn't even, the Saints could not score today. So Minnesota coming in, I think will handle pretty well that matchup. So I'm not too worried about either of these teams in the next week. So he's close to affiliates, is reckoning. There you go. Miss Fireball's raid to a potato net. NFC South looks like trash, says Double Doc Balls. We weren't excited about the NFC South. The biggest thing that we were excited about were maybe the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they've looked like trash. Like they haven't looked good.
Especially, they look strikingly similar to your Broncos, Chris.
Yeah, it's not great.
Their defense has played really well. Their offense has been a dumpster fire. So we'll see. We'll see them on Sunday night next week, and probably a low-scoring game against my Chiefs.
Yeah. Next up, speaking of Tampa Bay and Green Bay, this is a very similar game to what we saw tonight, right? 14-12 versus 10-11. These games were not super exciting to watch. The Packers-Bucks, I was expecting to be very, very competitive, and it was a 2.5. This is right where they expected it to be in Vegas with like the close spread.
Except the Bucks were favored. Yeah,
the Bucks were favored. Correct. Yep. But battle of the retirement homes. Yes, says Mama Murphy. It's true. And Tom Brady has not looked like himself this season. It's woo. Marie, I'm not a happy Broncos fan, and don't tell me a win is a win.
Chris already said a win was a win, and I agree with you, Marie. You should not be a happy Broncos fan. That game was gross.
It wasn't pretty.
Gross.
It wasn't pretty.
It's the sign of the future with all the money you've paid to that new quarterback.
And
your brand new coach, who's the worst.
Let's just say we're not going anywhere anytime soon. Hey, the Avs won. There you go.
In preseason hockey against our loved Vegas Golden Knights, Chris.
Any win against Vegas Golden Knights is great.
Even in preseason.
True. But yeah, no, it's a long road ahead, Marie, and it's going to be.
I was being serious. I was happy they beat Vegas. Anytime you can beat Vegas, I'm thrilled.
But in this game, the Green Bay Packers ended up coming out on top. Aaron Rodgers did just enough, and the defense held the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in check for most of the day. Both defenses, we knew this was going to be a defensive game. We talked about it on the Wednesday show. The under sounded incredible. We were like, oh, the under feels good in the sense that, like, you have two offenses. One, Tampa Bay's injury prone on their entire wide receiver line. All their guys are hurt. And then the Green Bay Packers have guys like Randall Cobb coming back from injury, who's been in the league for 100 years. And you have guys like Lazard, who he's been injured. You have all sorts of question marks across those offenses that it's just like, this lends itself to a defensive battle. And a 14-12, if you were to tell me that would be the end of score, it wouldn't surprise me. And that's what we ended up getting. Packers ended up getting the victory here over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And yeah, Tampa Bay taking an L.
Yeah, this game was kind of weird in the sense, like, Green Bay, first two possessions, 2 touchdowns. Drove down 75 yards, 71 yards. got 2 touchdowns. We're up 14-3. All was right in the world. And they didn't even get 100 yards in the second half, Chris. I think they were closer to 75 yards of offense in the second half. The second half was a punt, fumble, interception, punt. And then Tampa went 8. Of course they did with Tom. 89 yards at the end of the game, but then needed the 2-point conversion. So this came down to a 2-point conversion. Tom Brady, prior to getting the playoff on the 2-point conversion, this is Tom Brady, who's been in the league 137 years, Chris. Google that, guys. It's true.
Yep.
137 years. And he gets a delay of game penalty prior to their 2-point play. And then they don't get it. And that was the game. That was the game right there. So Green Bay's defense locked up the Tampa Bay's offense, which everyone is kind of doing. But we know Green Bay's defense is good. Their offense still remains a problem. Like it's outside of those first 2 drives, it was an unmitigated disaster in that second half. They couldn't do anything in that second half. So Green Bay moves to 2-1. Tampa's 2-1. Both these teams feel like they're not playing up to expectations at this point, in my mind, and have a lot to work on to improve.
Yeah, Green Bay plays. Green Bay plays New England coming up, and then the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will play your Kansas City Chiefs coming up Sunday Night Football. But Chairman, was Hackett coaching the Tampa Bay today? I mean, he might have been calling in plays.
He's good enough where he should probably be coaching several teams at once.
JK, a win is a win at the end of that's all that matters. Sabres beat the Caps in OT. Yeah. Marie, 8-16 on my picks. F that crapola. I'm good. I'm out. Good night. I love y'all. Thank you for coming in, Marie, for a little bit. Marie. Appreciate that. Hope you're doing well. Have a great end of your weekend here. Mama Murphy, at this point, I say when Brady and Rodgers plays, the losing team QB needs to retire. It's just like put a wager on it.
I think this has to be Brady's last year, right? Like this feels like the end of the road for sure for Brady. Rodgers is going to stick around because he's going to get paid. He just signed a new deal or whatever. He'll get paid for a year or 2 more, but
I mean, Brady feels like this is it. It feels like
if they start on a downward spiral, he might retire halfway through the season, Chris. Like maybe not halfway, but
really,
there might be a point in the season where he retires if they don't start playing better.
Interesting. I mean, I wouldn't have thought maybe mid-season, but I mean, you're not wrong in the sense that he's getting pressure from like the whole.
He's a little bit of a spoiled brat, and he's getting pressure from home.
Yep.
He broke 2 tablets last week. I don't know if he broke tablets this week, but I assume he probably did. Chairman, aren't they 2-1? Yes, they are. But have you watched? I mean, have you watched that offense? I remember a few years ago, the last year Brady was in New England, that New England team started off like 8-0. But that offense was a dumpster fire, and they lost in the first round of the playoffs to Tennessee where they put up like 7 points in that game. That feels exactly what this Bucs team is. I know a lot of people are like, oh, this Bucs team's going to turn it around, this and that. Chairman, they look better than San Francisco or Denver. That's the line? That's the line we're going with? They look better than that shitstorm we watched tonight?
They're on par, that's for sure. All right, next up, that's a pretty low standard, says Devil Dog.
Yeah, very low standard.
But here we go. Here's a different standard, and that's Texans and Bears.
Low standards.
Texans and Bears are battling in this one. Now, I luckily had the Bears in this, and I was terrified this entire game because the Bears did not look like they wanted to win this one. They just kind of let the Texans just kind of like get just a little extra play, like one extra play more. Battle of the rebuilds here, says Mama Murphy. Yeah, this one was a tough one. I'm glad we didn't watch a ton of it, but at the same time, it was a game that ended up coming down to a couple plays at the very end. You got an interception at the very end of this game to close it out. But overall, I thought this game didn't have a lot of storylines. Davis Mills is kind of trying to prove himself in Houston. 245 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Not quite doing that today. And then you had Justin Fields, who was trying to do the same thing. Didn't quite do his job either. 106 yards, 2 interceptions. So this was just kind of a sloppy game overall. Not super exciting. Bears end up just eking out a win in this one, improving to 2-1. So they're still in the green right here. But a Houston 0-2-1 to start the season.
Yeah. Listen, this game was
I'll be right back.
awful. I mean, Justin Fields was a disaster. Justin Fields was 8 of 17 for like 106 in this game. And yeah, he led them on a game-winning drive to win with a last-second field goal where they had exactly 0 yards on that drive. Listen, Justin Fields, you gotta, and everyone's blamed the offensive line, and they blamed Nagy last year. It was the coach's fault, and now they have new coaching staff, and it's like, oh, the offensive line's fault. All of that can be true, and at the same time, Justin Fields can be a problem as well. Can we start talking about how Justin Fields might not be it? Might not be that dude? I think we gotta. In the game they won. I know they won. But he went 8 of 17. He's completed like 25 passes through 3 weeks. I know they're 2-1, but the team looks bad. The Texans, Davis Mills has a turnover on a 3rd and 1 late in the game, and they're at their own like 25 that you just can't have. You can't have. Turn it over. Bears kick a field goal. Bears win the game. Huge mistake. But Davis Mills at least looks like he can at least do something. He made a huge mistake, but let's be honest, Fields threw 2 picks. I didn't even mention that. We don't have to spend a lot of time on this game because these two are 2 teams that are going nowhere. I don't care that the Bears are 2-1; they're going nowhere. And the real question is, where do you go with Justin Fields? Because he does not look good right now. He looks like he's lacking confidence. Doesn't know what he's supposed to do out there. Yeah, I didn't even see Mr. Boofus, but he says Justin looks like he's lacks confidence. So absolutely, he's scared to throw. Like, it's ugly. This was an ugly win. We knew this was going to be an ugly game. I don't want to talk about this one that much, Chris, but
yeah,
it was an ugly game. The Bears got a W. They're 2-1, and they might go 2-15.
Well, and the thing here is also he makes a good. So Boofus is like Roquan and Khalil Herbert won this game for us. The problem,
the run game was great.
Yeah, no, and that's great. But here's the thing: Roquan has requested a trade early in the season, so he's the guy that kind of sealed it for you, and he wants out. From what we think still is the case. And then Khalil Herbert is the backup who is filling in nicely, which is great, but it's like, you'll take that, right? But you want your starting guys to be that for you too. So it is just tough, man. And I think that the Bears, they just need to figure out the quarterback position, if Fields is the guy or not. And I don't know. I'm trying to get there. I want him to be.
I don't think he is.
I want him to be. I just can't get there.
As a Denver fan, you probably shouldn't want him to be, because everyone in Denver was furious when they didn't take Fields and took Surtain instead. But right now, not taking Fields looks pretty good. Now, trading for Russ also looks pretty shitty, but still, Fields looks like he's not that dude.
By the way, we are still 3 subs away from gifting out a sub to or 3 follows away from gifting out a sub to the community. So if you're here, hit that follow button. It's free, and you guys will see us gift out a sub to the community, and hopefully you are the beneficiary. We do it randomly. So have some fun with us and stick with us. Talk some sports every Wednesday and Sunday. My name is Chris. This is Scott. We're your host from the Action Lab. Where's the pick of that long ass neck, says Football Wife?
I switched it up this week. I switched it up. It'll be back. Don't worry.
All right. So getting into the Jags and Chargers. Jags and Chargers were
hell?
Herbert did not look good in this one. Herbert looked. I think the injury is catching up with him. Obviously, coming off that game where he had the rib injury, visibly he was in discomfort and he was not in a good place with the Chiefs after he took that hit. And then he's coming back. It was a kind of a. We knew he was going to play, but to what extent? And this was a weird one for the San Diego or Los Angeles Chargers. I do this every stream.
It's only been like 3 years, Chris.
It's only been like 3 years. The Los Angeles Chargers, but the Jags come in and just absolutely at home of the Chargers just crushed them 38-10. This wasn't even a close game. I mean, this was over very quickly, and we don't need to spend a lot of time on this, but I think the biggest question in this one is Justin Herbert gonna be able to hold up over the course of he completed some passes and he was fine.
It'll get better. It's just the Chargers are charging, Chris.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're doing what
they do.
They choke away games, and this one, typically, you would think they would choke away close games. This one wasn't even close.
I got a hot take for you here, Chris.
Let's hear it. Spam hot take in the chat.
I said on Wednesday, this game is a playoff matchup. I said that this is a first-round playoff matchup because the Jags are going to win the AFC South. Remember that?
Yep.
Do you remember that?
Yep.
Okay. Hot take right here. Everyone loves them some Dolphins, right?
Okay.
Right now, in my opinion, the best team in Florida, which includes the Bucks and the Dolphins, is the Jacksonville Jaguars. On a neutral field, if Jacksonville was playing Miami especially, Brady would maybe find a way to fucking I don't know, hoodoo is do some sorcery and get a win. But I think Jacksonville, Miami on a neutral field right now, I'd take Jacksonville.
Ooh, hot takes in the chat. Spam them.
I'd take Jacksonville.
Spam them. That's
Come at me. But I think I'm right. I think Jacksonville. I think Trevor Lawrence. I was a little concerned about him coming into his second year. Had a great game. They have a real coach now.
They do.
As Devil Doc Ball says, Jags have an actual head coach. Mr. Roof is not gonna lie. I like Jags right now. Yeah, a lot of talent across the board. I'm surprised. Their defense is where I'm worried about. Way less than their offense. I mean, they don't have a ton of defensive dudes, but they've been getting the job done so far. Yeah, I would take Jacksonville over Miami on a neutral field right now. I would.
Well, and Jacksonville has a nice little test. I think that next week will be interesting for them when they take on the Eagles. Eagles will be a fun matchup. I think that's an underrated matchup next week.
What's the line on that one? That's another one I want to fire on.
just get after it. I think that one is +7 for Jags.
Plus 7?
The early look ahead is +7 for Jacksonville.
Let me look at this.
At least in FanDuel it is.
+7? Obviously in Philly.
In Philly.
I see it at 6.5. I would love it at 7. I would love that at 7. And I like Philly. I like both those teams, but give me Jacksonville. Why is Jacksonville not getting any credit? They should have won week 1 against Washington. They literally were an abomination in the red zone and didn't score when they should have. They were the far better team week 1. And since then, all they've done is win 24-0 against the Colts and 38-10 against the Chargers.
Yeah.
That's pretty good, Chris.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty damn good.
Meanwhile, the Chargers are going to be matching up next week with the Texans. So that's a nice little bounce back. If you ever need a bounce back, that's the one that you need. No offense to all the Houston fans out there, but I mean the Chargers. The Chargers lost Bosa in this one. He went out in the first. I think it was the first quarter, if I'm not mistaken. And I don't know what his injury looks like, but I think he'll be back fairly soon, but
Is he worth 4 touchdowns?
I don't know about that. But that's the biggest thing that the Chargers were talking about going into this season was, hey, you got, Bosa is like a monster, and like that pass rush is going to be insane. Well, if he's not getting in on the quarterback, if he's hurt, that's a problem for the Chargers, especially the fact that they gave us some big chunk plays on the ground. Remember we were talking about they weren't so good against the run? They gave us some massive plays on the run today, and they're right back to being where they were kind of last year. But yeah, Jags look good. Chargers look beat up, and that's what contributed to this blowout here for the Chargers. Let me get to the chat here. I know we missed a few things in the chat. Let's see. Trev looks good, and that rookie running back too. Is this take part of last year's Halloween costume, says Cuban?
Yeah, a little bit. If you guys don't know, we like to dress up for Halloween. I was Urban Meyer last year. It's a nice costume.
I like the Jags owner. He's got Ron Jeremy vibe about him, says JK.
What's not to like about that?
If Jags beat the Eagles, then the Jags are real, says Boofus.
The Jags are, I mean, they're gonna be tough. They're winning the AFC South. It's happening. They're by far the best team in the AFC South.
Here come the Jags.
I don't even care that the Colts beat my Chiefs today. The Jags are way better.
Well, and speaking of the Chiefs, the Chargers, the Raiders all lost today. Let's move on.
And in spirit, the Broncos lost.
The Broncos lost, like, kind of part of my soul in the fact that we're starting to realize that Russ isn't exactly cooking by any means. So, but Chiefs end up dropping one to the Colts. You mentioned a little bit earlier that you were kind of worried about this one before the game even kicked off. You kind of had some like bad vibes. The Chiefs in this one were struggling to get things rolling a little bit, and the Colts, who had 2 awful weeks starting week 1 and week 2, they ended up,
they weren't very good today.
They weren't very good either. So that's what was tough here. Sorry, Scotty. This was surprising, says Devil Doc. Scotty, I'll let you jump into this one on your boys.
I mean, this was a simple case of like, we just shit the bed. Listen, right off the top, the Chiefs get a 3-and-out to open the game against the Colts and muff the punt, and the Colts are set up at the 4-yard line, and the Chiefs get a touchdown. So that's one of the 2 touchdowns the Colts score. It was on a muff punt. It was a 4-yard drive. The special teams were so bad. Later on, the Colts are punting again. Sky Moore, who's our, guy back on punt, doesn't even catch it at the 15-yard line, lets it bounce, and it bounces to the 1. We start at the 1 and it doesn't go anywhere. But even with that in the first half, we're up at half. It seems like we're fine. Not playing great, but okay. Mahomes was okay. The offensive line's a problem. The run game was non-existent. The defense played pretty damn well against an offense. The Colts are not a good football team, by the way. Don't think that like, hey, you just beat the Chiefs, you're good. The Colts were not very good today.
Well, there was a lot of hype on the Colts coming into the season, thinking they were going to win the AFC, and they
would win the South. There's a lot of people picking them to win the whole AFC. They're not good. Matt Ryan's limited. There's so many mistakes that happen in the second half with special teams. The Chiefs tried a fake punt on 4th and 10 in like chip shot field goal range, up 4. So that would have made it a 7-point game if they just kick a field goal. But they try a fake punt or fake field goal, does not work at all. And then they get the ball back. They drive down the field again. They have Kelsey. It goes through. Kelsey has a drop in the end zone that should have sealed the game. And they kick a field goal from 1 yard further than extra point range. Well, their kicker, Butker, is out. They have a guy off the street, Amendola. He misses. He also missed an extra point in this game. And so he was a disaster. The special teams were a disaster. And then the Colts game-winning drive, they get sacked on 3rd and long and it's 4th and 1,000,000. They're going to punt the ball, and the Chiefs are going to get the ball back, and they call after the play a unsportsmanlike conduct on Chris Jones as him and Matt Ryan were talking back and forth. I don't know what was said, but they called a flag on Chris Jones that extended that drive that should have been done, and that ended up being the game winner. The Chiefs deserve to lose this game. Were they the better team? Yes, but did they deserve, with all the mistakes they made, to lose this game? Absolutely. Am I concerned moving forward? I'm not concerned with the loss as much as I am the offense. I'm a little concerned with. I don't feel like there's a lot of separation with the wide receivers and man-to-man coverage, and I don't think the offensive line has pass protection has not been great. But overall, just a shit game from the Chiefs. They deserve to lose it. They lost it. The only good news here is they knocked a lot of people out of survivor pools I was at. So.
There you go. I mean, hey, you cash it in a little bit because, yeah, a lot of people had the Chiefs beating the Colts, and this was kind of a shocker. 15 subs the rest of this video, and Chris has to wear a Russell Wilson jersey and an apron while cooking pancakes shaped like Wilson's head. I mean, we could do a cooking stream. We could do that.
Chris has always wanted to do a cooking stream.
I've always wanted to do one. That would be up. That would be in the realm of possibility. Maybe we make that happen. 15 subs. There we go. But an apron cooking pancakes, Russell Wilson jersey.
Does he have a weird shaped head? What would those pancakes look like?
I got to figure out how I would make the Russell Wilson shaped head, but I can figure that out. I mean, we'll figure.
Oversized for his body.
Probably.
But when are we doing a jersey swap? I don't swap jerseys. I don't put on that orange. It's gross. I don't do it. We could make a wager. Actually, they play on Sunday night this year, Chris.
No,
we're gonna have a Sunday night football game.
That's gonna be one of the most.
Denver, KC, and when KC wins by 1,000,000, don't blame me.
Or when Denver wins by like 2, like. You're gonna it's gonna be that much more painful.
How is Denver gonna win by 2? They're only gonna put up like 12 points.
That's gonna be the most watched stream I think of the history of our show, most likely. Yeah. No, it's not weirdly shaped. Maybe some berry toppings for the hair, eyes, or something. Oh, I could be creative with it. Rams Cardinals. Rams end up getting a win here. Cardinals, have historically had.
Sorry, guys, I rushed through this. My B.
It's fine. The
graphics not great. I was in a hurry. It was family day. I was spending time with my family at the Rockies.
Roger.
No, but Kyler Murray I was watching this game on and off, and this game was a struggle to watch. If I'm a Cardinals fan, like. It's tough. I mean, Kyler Murray, for the money that he's getting paid, you talk about Russell Wilson, but Kyler Murray is not exactly burning up the charts when it comes to his stats. There was a lot of plays left out there on the field with Kyler Murray, but the Rams, Super Bowl champs, end up getting a win here. Cardinals have historically done fairly well against the Rams during those matchups. They've had a couple matchups where it leans slightly towards the Cardinals, even though the Rams should have won. Cardinals end up somehow pulling it out. But this one was all about the Rams and all about the man you see, Cooper Kupp. He absolutely is just... I feel like he's just unguardable, man. Cooper Kupp is just so good.
Yeah, I did not see a ton of this game, full disclosure. But... the Cardinals are not a very good football team. And the Rams aren't playing great football. They're nowhere close to their Super Bowl stature of last year.
No.
Can they turn it on? Can they figure some things out? Of course. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt since they won last year, but they should have won this game by more, quite frankly. I don't think the Cardinals are playing good football right now. I know they came back and won a weird, fluky game against the Raiders last week, but moving forward, I just don't trust the Cardinals very much. Everything from the Rams offensively was fine. They ran the ball pretty well. They passed the ball well. They should have had more than 20 points. They had a fumble that potentially could have jeopardized this game, but didn't late in the game on a long drive. A bad fumble, but overall, the Rams were, in my opinion, this score doesn't even show the fact that the Rams were, in my opinion, the better team, and it wasn't particularly close. So, moving forward, where do the Cardinals go? I don't know. Rams now 2-1. They still feel off though, Chris. They feel off for sure.
Yeah, the Rams aren't quite the Super Bowl caliber, and then Arizona is, especially with Kyler Murray. I mean, look what he did here. He threw 58 attempts, 58 passing attempts.
That's a lot.
37 were completed for 314 yards. It's empty. You know what? It's like eating a bag of potato chips, like a big bag of potato chips, and then like you're hungry like an hour later. It's just empty calories that you just you consume them, and you're just like, all right, man, I feel satisfied for like a quick second, but it's not going to sustain me.
5.4 yards per pass. We talked about that in the Broncos game. That was one of the two quarterbacks but that was the better of the two in the Broncos game. We know how bad that offense was. But Kyler Murray was not getting it done, and he did nothing. You're like, oh, at least he can run. No, he had 8 yards rushing in this game. So he didn't run the ball. He wasn't effective passing. He had 314 yards, so it looks pretty. But Stafford had 249 on 25 attempts. He averaged 10 yards per pass compared to 5.4 for Kyler Murray.
Yeah, no, Kyler Murray just isn't quite there. Mama Murphy, it's because that new Modern Warfare game came out. Yeah.
He loves it.
Yeah, he's got to get the new version, right? Oy vey, this game. I can't stand Kingsbury, and Murray should never have gotten that contract. Now they're stuck with him. Going to be a long season. Last week was our Super Bowl. Let's just tank out. See, and the thing is like,
what do you do when you tank though? You're not getting a new quarterback. So what's going to drastically change?
You're in a tough spot across the board. You think he'd be
a new coach, maybe, but
you think he'd be in New England? How Belichick loves his shifty white slot receivers. It's so hard to watch him. Yeah, I think
Colin Cup is a slot receiver is underselling him a little bit. He can line up anywhere.
Cooper Kupp is he's solid, man. You can't hate on some Cooper Kupp.
No, I said Colin Cup.
Oh, Colin Cup.
Not Colin Cup. I said calling Cup a slot receiver. I didn't say Colin Cup. Get out of here.
Slap Scotty. All right, next up.
Mod.
Please, yes, a new coach, Sean Payton, says JK. Everyone's calling for Sean Payton.
Everyone wants Sean Payton.
You remember the last time there was this kind of hype for a coach that was in the league that wasn't in the league that everyone wanted? Who was that?
What are you talking about, Gruden?
Yep. Everybody was like, for 2 or 3 years leading up to Gruden taking a job, everyone was like, Gruden here, Gruden there, Gruden in this. Same thing with Payton. Payton's getting that hype, and I'm like, he's starting to become like that overly hyped. And he's good. I get that he's good, but man, like,
I think he's very good.
Yeah, I think he's very good, but it's like,
and I think he's going to be the Cowboys head coach next year, and it's going to be a great thing for the Cowboys.
Cowboys needs. Can we get him in Denver? I'll take him in Denver. Please, new coach.
He's not coming for Russ. He's no part of Russ.
But he wants Dak.
Over Russ? Hell yeah.
Dak needs to like stay on the field, man. Like he needs to stay like Russell stay on the field. He just won't give you anything. At least he's on the field. So there's that.
Is that a good thing?
I mean,
so you'd rather have a shitty quarterback that's on the field instead of a good quarterback that misses games?
I mean, you're dealing with Cooper Rush.
Now. He's 1-0.
Bill Cowher. Yeah, Bill Cowher got a lot of hype too. Chris Hackett for Matt Canada. says Reckoning. Sean Payton to Dallas and then races on. Then he'll get sick of Jerry Jones and win a Super Bowl. Will he get sick of Jerry Jones or win a Super Bowl first? I don't know. I mean, Jerry Jones is always, in the mix. Raiders Titans here. Raiders end up dropping another disappointing game. And the Raiders are just kind of in a weird way, a dumpster fire that, just for some reason, just struggle right now. This game wasn't super thrilling to watch, Scotty. I was watching this one on and off, and eventually down the stretch it came, and it came down to a couple last minute plays. But I mean, the first 2 quarters, the first half, and maybe going into the third, I was kind of like, I'm kind of over this one. I'm like, maybe something happens and they keep it close. And the Raiders did claw back, but it wasn't quite enough. And the Titans ends up winning this one 24-22.
I mean, this is another game that came down to a 2-point conversion late. So Raiders got the touchdown, late in the game. In a game they were out of. I mean, they allowed the Titans, whose offense is not elite, to put up 24 in the first half. Literally could not stop them to save their lives in the first half. And then the Titans, of course, kind of do what they did week 1. They put up points in the first half, and they didn't in the second half. They did that with the Giants in week 1 at home. Didn't score at all, but the Raiders down 24-10 get a field goal, but then not a lot happening. And then all of a sudden they score a touchdown on a 4th and 9 play, and there's hope before failing on an attempt on the 2-point conversion, trying to hit Darren Waller. Did not work out, and that was kind of the game right there. So a battle of 0-2 teams kind of felt like a must-win game here. Honestly, you don't want to go to 0-3 is tough to claw out of. And these are 2 teams that, very much had playoff aspirations. The Titans get the W that they need after an embarrassing loss on Monday night against the Bills. And the Raiders moved to 0-3, come back home, have the Raiders next week, or the Broncos next week. We'll see, but 0-3 is going to be very, very difficult to claw out of in a competitive AFC that I think is better than the NFC. So Raiders keep finding ways to lose close football games, Chris. Overtime last week, a fumble, 2-point conversion they couldn't convert here. Week 1 they were in and couldn't get it done. So Raiders are finding ways to lose, and McDaniels already feels like he's on the hot seat somehow. There was a long before he hit his press conference after the game. McDaniels had a long closed door meeting already with not Al Davis. Who's Mike? What's Al Davis's kid's name? Whoever it is.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
2K or whatever. That awful haircut. Mark Davis.
Mark Davis.
Mark Davis.
Yep.
Yeah. So Mark Davis, long meeting already after 3 weeks. Not a great sign for McDaniels, which Denver probably loves to see. Hates that dude.
Through 3 weeks of the NFL football, only one team has lost all 3 of their games. The Las Vegas Raiders. Last team to be the only 0-3 squad through 3 games was the 1959 Detroit Lions, who finished 3-8-1. So it's not great start here for the Raiders here, which, a lot of people had high aspirations for the Raiders. They had a lot of offseason moves. They made a lot of changes. They got in McDaniels. They got, Adams in. They got some pass rushers in. They got some defensive, personnel across the board. And it's not a great situation right now to be a Raider fan at the moment. But imagine a long meeting with that haircut staring you in the face as JK. I mean,
I can't even imagine how you would take that dude seriously. Someone tell Mark Davis that he looks I don't want to say what I really want to say. It looks real bad, guys.
I thought
so bad.
Chairman Reed buckles up the trolling helmet. I expected the Raiders to lose because they're from the AFC West. Oh, shots fired.
One team squeaked out a W in the AFC West, despite all their attempts to lose.
Yeah, no, yeah. We're Broncos are representing strong in the AFC West with a win.
No, they're not. No.
But yeah, so Raiders end up winning or losing this one to the Titans, and the Raiders are they're what I thought they were, but they'll win a couple games here. They'll get off the schneid and very soon.
Week.
Will they?
Let's make a wager on that game, Chris. I'll take the Raiders.
Well, we'll talk about it on our Wednesday show. We'll talk.
No, let's talk now.
Let's talk about it on our Wednesday show.
Let's talk now. I'll take Raiders heads up.
We'll talk about it on our Wednesday show.
Yeah. Doubting your team. Wow.
Saints Panthers. Jameis Winston is obviously looking and seeing ghosts everywhere. He can't get anything going offensively. Gotta run, guys. Great show. Catch you Wednesday. Thanks, JK. Appreciate it. Thanks for swinging through. Let's give JK a nice little goodbye. J.R. Smith emote. Goodbye. Have a great start to your week. Yeah, let's go. Saints looked absolutely awful. Panthers, the battle of two teams that probably aren't great. This is one of the worst divisions in football, arguably. And like the Saints, Jameis Winston, I feel like we always like try to hype up Jameis, and I love the ceiling that Jameis has, but he just cannot figure it out. This offense is struggling. The defense is supposed to be a lot better, but they ended up giving 22 points to the Panthers here. Panthers ended up getting a win here in the division rivalry.
I mean, yes, the Saints lost this game, and yes, they didn't look great offensively at times, but I mean, let's be honest, like the Panthers weren't there was a defensive touchdown and a fumble touchdown that they got for their first score to go up 7-0 on where it looked like Kamara almost like got hurt on the play and fumbled as he was getting hurt, and they picked it up and went in for like 42 yards on that play. Outside of that, you have like a missed field goal from the Saints. You have a blocked field goal from the Saints. You have so many things, too many interceptions. That's Jameis's thing. You can't throw picks. But overall, Panthers get a win. They get to 1-2. I had the Panthers as one of my bets of the week, so I at least hit that one. I had them +3. They win outright by 8, so I cover that one pretty comfortably. Yeah, I don't think we need to spend a ton of time on this one. Outside of the Saints, look, Chris lost without Sean Payton offensively.
They're struggling quite a bit. This was hard to watch for a little bit when I was tuning into this one. I mean, it was tough to watch the Saints offense, and that's saying something from a Broncos fan. So, I mean, I think the first touchdown they scored was in the third quarter, fourth quarter, somewhere in there. Like it was late in the game that they finally got on the board, and it was like kind of a breath of fresh air for the Saints at that point. But even still, they only got to 14 points in this game against a Carolina Panthers team that I think is
14 would have won tonight.
Yeah, true. You're not wrong.
The good news is Chris Olave had like 150 yards in this. There are some rookie wide receivers out there with Olave
and London
and Garrett Wilson in New York, who I wasn't high on, but he's kind of killing it. And in Washington, Jahan Dotson has been nice at times, especially in the red zone. So
yeah,
there's some rookie wideouts that are balling out for sure. Even the dude in Tennessee, even though he doesn't get a ton of snaps out of Arkansas. I'm drawing a blank on his name, but he's looked nice at times. You know who hasn't looked nice? Sky Moore, who we drafted in the second round.
he's had a couple hiccups.
He muffed a punt. He's caught like one ball this season. It's been I'm not ready to give up on him, but it's not good right now.
Next up, we have this this beautiful matchup here between the Commanders and the Eagles. Eagles are continuing to fly high. Jalen Hurts, MVP, says Devil Dog. The Eagles are looking pretty good. And by pretty good, I mean they're the best team in the NFC. They're the only undefeated team. Well, outside of the... hold on one sec.
Don't worry, Scotty. The sky's the limit.
The sky's the limit for your boy Moore. Sky Moore.
Thanks, Rack.
Yeah.
Thanks for the bid.
Thanks for the biddies. Appreciate that reckoning. You're the best.
No, 1 bit. It was 1 bit.
It was 2 bits.
Oh, 2 bits.
2 bits.
Sorry.
Yeah. This game, obviously, there's the 2 or 3 undefeated teams in the league. What, the Giants as of right now, the Eagles, and the Dolphins are the 3.
Dolphins.
Yeah. So the right now, Eagles ended up putting together a nice, impressive win. Jalen Hurts, you saw on the fantasy tracker, is like, top 3 again this week in fantasy points. Just throwing and running and doing everything under the sun. So he's looking great. He's doing his best Lamar Jackson impression when it comes to putting up fantasy points. But Carson Wentz on the other side was supposed to be the savior for Washington. He's been good this week. He was sacked 8 times. That's only happened twice in his career. Today in Washington against Philadelphia, and in 2020 as a Philadelphia quarterback against Washington. So it's not looking pretty for Carson Wentz.
He didn't score offensively until after the 2-minute warning in the second half.
Yeah,
it was not good.
No. Rec, thank you for popping in. Yeah, it's getting a little late. We went a little long tonight, but thanks for popping in, Rec. Hope you have a great start to your week, and we'll see you back here hopefully Wednesday. Have a great rest of your week. 9 sacks says
9 sacks.
Yeah, so
it wasn't even enough at 8.
It wasn't
even 9.
It's got to be 9.
And what's weird about this one is Philly only scored in 1 quarter. Chris, they put up 24 points in the second quarter. Didn't score the rest of the game. But that was enough. Devontae Smith, who, by the way, I picked up as a free agent in one of our leagues and started him, worked out all right.
Yeah.
So he had a huge game, especially in that second quarter where they kind of went off. Ironically, they have not scored a point in their last 2 games in the second half. The Eagles, they're 3-0, and they have not scored a point in the second half. They load up in the first half and then just kind of sit on it in the second half. It is what it is, but they've looked good through 3 weeks, no doubt about it. You should be excited if you're an Eagles fan. I mean, this is a team more so than Miami that I think, especially in the NFC, which I don't trust a lot of those other teams, could certainly make a run and potentially make a run at a Super Bowl, making the Super Bowl, winning the Super Bowl, maybe. Who knows? I never thought I'd say that about Hurts, and we'll see if he can keep doing what he's doing, but he's looked great so far, so he's proven me wrong.
Yeah, no, the Eagles are looking good. They're flying high. Obviously, they're, one of the favorites at the moment. So we'll see what they can do. Obviously, the NFC East isn't as stacked as it typically has been in years past. And then the Commanders, we already talked about the Eagles playing Jags next week. So that could be a fun, entertaining game, especially the way the Jags are playing. And then the Commanders are playing the Cowboys. So that's going to be maybe not the most watched game of the week, given the offensive. You got the Cowboys with the backup quarterback, and you have Carson Wentz going head to head. So probably not one of the better matchups of the week, but still, I mean, you need to win some of these. It exists.
I bet the winning team scores more than 11.
That's true. And then, obviously Steelers and Browns we saw on Thursday night, so we can just recap this real quick, and then we'll get to just our pick'ems, and then we'll wrap up the stream tonight, so we can get you guys all ready for your week coming up.
It's a late night, Chris. I'm tired.
Yep.
I'm going to be honest. This one, Steelers-Browns, higher scoring than I thought, quite frankly, which says a lot. And it wasn't really 29. The Browns did crush a lot of people's souls on teasers by getting the touchdown defensively on the last play of the game where the Steelers were effing around. I lost this one. I had the Steelers plus 5.5. They pretty much lost by, what was it, 6 before that last touchdown. So I missed out on that by half point, but Pickens made a hell of a grab. Trubisky is clearly not it. It's a ticking time bomb until they go to Pickens.
Pickett.
And everyone, it's weird. Everyone in our chat that's like a Steelers fan is like, yeah, but like, oh, Pickett would be in terrible position with this offensive line and this and that. And I'm like, even still, you gotta like get him out there, let him figure some things out. Does he get sacked? Does he not have success? Fine, but let him. Let's see what's out there, because Trubisky ain't it. For the Browns, offensively, they played. Who had the Browns losing to the Jets and beating the Steelers and the Panthers? I didn't. I would have probably predicted those games. Well, I had the Browns winning against the Steelers, honestly, but their run game's nice. They're working out. Jacoby Brissett has actually been pretty decent. At one point in this game, I texted some buddies and I'm like, is it going to be a downgrade when they switch quarterbacks to Deshaun Watson? Because Brissett's played pretty well through 3 weeks. I know he has a ceiling and it's not that high, but he's honestly played pretty well. Browns go to 2-1. No one likes to see it, but it was an okay Thursday game, Chris. It wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I had the Browns winning that one, but I wasn't like, super like confident with that prediction, knowing the Steelers are always competitive, especially in those division games. The AFC North division rivalries are always like really close. So yeah, I mean, the Browns are good. I think Brissett has always been a manageable quarterback. Like he's kind of in that Tyrod Taylor, that Teddy Bridgewater range, where like they can win you games and they can get you over the hump, but it's like it's not the long-term solution realistically. You take what you can get. But yeah, so that's where we ended here. Here are our bets of the week, all updated. Now I hit all mine, which was,
you did.
I went 4-0 week. I don't have too many of these, so I'm gonna relish in this a little bit. I think I had maybe like 2 all season last year, so I'm gonna take it. And Sky, you get 2-2.
Just sign me up for 2-2 every week.
Yeah.
Chris.
No, it's fine.
3 weeks in a row of 2-2.
So I ended up cashing in on a couple of my parlays because we make these bets, guys. Whenever we make these, we always put these into action. So Scotty, I thought you had the Lions +6.
I did not. Wish I did. Wish I would have. Should have just kept rolling with the Lions. They covered all 3 weeks, even in their losses. So should have kept rolling with the Lions. And I would have literally today, going into that New England Baltimore game, I was like, I don't want to be a part of that game anymore. And I don't even know why I picked it.
Yeah, that was a game that I kind of liked, and I kind of had a couple sources that were like pretty solid that were agreeing with me, and I was like, all right, well, typically when those two sources agree, I'm like in a good place. But I mean, it was kind of close early on, and then it kind of got out of hand at the end.
New England was up 20-14, and I'm like, oh,
yeah,
good shape. And then the wheels fell off.
So we will try to improve on this next week and see if we can get get Scotty in the green.
Yeah, improve. Hey, I had 2 greens.
Yeah,
you should improve on your 4-0. Be better next week, Chris.
I need to be better. I need to maybe I'll add like 2 more and make it like out of 6 this week. Probably.
I'm about to get paid on that Cincy game on Thursday, so I'm hyped for that.
Yeah, no, get in on them early. So there we go. As far as our contest rankings, let me pull up our Lab Rat rankings here and show you what we got when it comes to our pick'ems, so that we can see where people are kind of hanging out here, and obviously Football Wife is crushing at the moment, but
Football Wife is crushing. I'm tied for second after the Denver win tonight with the Moon Princess. So we got our favorite females out on top right now, Chris.
Hold on one second here. Hold on.
And G-Girl right there too, just a game behind second place. Chris, where are you at? You're at 25 and 21. Not great.
Hold
not
on.
terrible. Tied for 8th.
All right, let me pull this up. I don't know why it's not showing up here for me on this, but
This is going great.
No.
I'll just go game. I'll go person by person and say their record.
There we go.
Wife is 31 and 15.
Hold on one
Are
second.
you sure?
No, I got it here. We're good.
You got it. We're good?
Yep, we got it.
Right.
There it is.
Hey.
All right, so Football Wife is right here at number 1, 99 percentile. Moon Princess, Scotty A. Smith, In the Housers, G Girl, Big Benny, Crimson Cardinals. There I go. I'm popping in there. 25-21. Devil Doc Helv. Then we have, who's that? Hold on. Let me see if I can stretch this out a little bit. Dr. Gonzalez, MD's right there. There you go. And then
Would that be Dr. J?
It could be. I think so. And then Reckoning, Diacola, Hank. There we go. Broncos chairman, Casually, Milwaukee's. And then here's all of the rest as you get down to the bottom.
Struggling at the bottom here. The struggle is real. Boss Hog, even Chairman below 500. You okay? He's like, don't show me. This is embarrassing. It is.
There you go. Well, that's how it stacks up. So you guys have one more game tomorrow to choose. Make sure that one's going to be a tough one, honestly. And I could go either way on that one, but that one, it's not a gimme either way.
No. Neither team I would call elite by any fashion.
I
feel like an AFC West team. Just slow down, Chairman. All right. Stop picking on the AFC West. But yeah, they shit the bed today. They really should have been 0-4. So,
but luckily the Broncos salvaged.
Thank goodness.
Representing
to win.
We made it, guys. We made it through the evening. It was a fun Sunday night for us Broncos fans who eked out a win. I'll take it. So, but we have a big show previewing week 4 coming up. We have a lot of storylines. We have all of our week 4 previews, all of our best bets. We have a coming in hot. We have all sorts of fun things coming up on this coming Wednesday show. If you're here, hit that follow button so you know exactly when we go live if you have not already. Also, make sure just in general, just whenever you're here, just join us in the chat. We like to get all of your input, all of your thoughts, all of your takes, everything on your favorite teams, and we love talking about all of your favorite teams each and every single week. So that being said, it's late. We want to get you guys to bed. It's the start of the work week. So go out there, be a good person until Wednesday. We'll get you halfway through the work week until then. And make sure you guys have a fantastic start to your school week, work week, anything you got going on. Finally, go live in the moment a little bit. You know, obviously, so many distractions in the world. You have so many things happening. You got the phone in your hand. You got all these things going on. Make sure you go put it down, enjoy like nature, enjoy the family around you, enjoy your friends, and just like, you know, just take it all in just a little bit before Wednesday.
The leaves are changing colors, guys. Go look.
There you go. It's fall. And football's here. We got all the leaves changing colors. We have chili in the crock pot. We have all the good things happening, man. Just like enjoy it while you can. And then also NBA, NHL's popping off here soon too. Enjoy some of that while you can. It's a great time of year coming up. It's gonna only get more and more packed for our show. So enjoy it.
We're not far from the World Cup. The U.S. sucks, but we're not that far from the World Cup either, which will be fun.
No, it's gonna be.
Thanks everyone, by the way, that's coming up in the chat saying nice things. Appreciate it. We have fun with you guys. You guys make this enjoyable for us. So appreciate you all and hope you have a good night.
Yeah, I'm looking to see who we're going to send you to tonight. Mitch is online again, so he's always a great guy to send you to. Let me see if there's anybody else, though, in our sports category. I always like to send people to sports if we can, but it doesn't look like there's a lot going on. So
it's the middle of the night most places.
Yeah, so we're going to send you probably over to Mitch.
I love APC. Hi. Bye. But hi. How are you?
APC.
We're going to bed. That's what we're doing, APC. But thanks for hopping in.
He's on.
Better late than never.
Hey, APC, we miss you, buddy. Hope you're doing well out there. And sorry your boy, Tom Brady, didn't get the win. Yeah, I know you're sick of Green Bay. I get it.
Well, it won't get much better next Sunday. Hopefully.
Who knows? But we're going to send you over to Mitch. Enjoy Mitch. Give him a follow. And he'll vibe you out to the rest of your night and into Monday. So here you go. And we will see you back here Wednesday. Love you guys.
Night, guys.